Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, PeaceMaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checkered flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. PeaceMaker's mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. 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 Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, PeaceMaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checkered flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. PeaceMaker's mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. 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 Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, PeaceMaker keeping it real.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we're gonna get ready to rock and roll here this evening. As each and every one of these drivers looking to try to pick up the checkered flag here this evening. Qualifying underway. Drivers trying to lay down their quick time here this evening, trying to put themselves up and into victory lane. Alrighty, as Hardy Design says, this one is for my dad. He's having some health problems right now. Hope you feel better soon, Pops. I love you, man. We love Papa Hardy as well. Papa Hardy, hopefully you are feeling better, getting to enjoy seeing Dustin out there on the racetrack and all the Hardy Designs rides, duking it out here this evening. Huge shout out there to Hardy Designs, old man. Hopefully you get better. Hopefully you feel better very, very soon. Hopefully the health problems are minor and not going to affect your life too much or for longevity or anything else. And hopefully you get back to a full bill of health and right back into enjoying these broadcasts more and more each and every single night of the week. As Sure Holler, Mrs. Holler coming in, says, huge B-Day wish. Let's have a great race, as it's an early birthday wish here this week for Mr. Kevin Holler. Mr. Kevin Holler here this evening, which is actually, it's actually not Kevin Holler, it's Ryan Holler. Ryan Holler here in the series. It is Ryan Holler's birthday on Thursday, as Mr. Holler hopped into the chat earlier, says, birthday race for me, laugh out loud, about to turn 30 on Thursday, says, hope for some good luck. Yeah, hopefully some good luck going your way here tonight, brother, and happy early dirty 30 here from us at PeaceMaker Gaming, man. That's absolutely awesome. I'm what, 8 days away? 8 days away next Tuesday, or next Monday. Yeah, next Monday. I turn 31. 31 next Monday. Gosh darn, man. The clock doesn't slow down, ladies and gentlemen. As Sap Realtree FN says, let's go 3E. Greek Freak in the house, he says. Sam Hardy says, let's go. Dustin Hardy cheered on Dustin here this evening. And Sap cheered on that 3E machine at Ethan Greek, as all these drivers getting ready to duke it out here this evening. It's qualifying coming to a close, and that means it is time to get it on. Like Donkey Kong, the battling is about to commence. Each and every one of these drivers trying to find their way up and into victory lane. Is my boy Caleb Ramsey over on Facebook coming in with that like on the stream as well. How are you, Caleb? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Sunday. Hopefully you guys are ready for some great racing here this evening. If you guys are excited to see what these drivers can do, jump into the comment section right now. Let us know who you are cheering for, who you want to see up and in victory lane, and make sure you do us a favor. It's absolutely free to do. Helps us out a ton. Hit the like button on the stream for us right now. Hit that thumbs up button for us and help us out a little bit here in the broadcast. As we get ready to set these drivers loose, we get ready to see these drivers battle it on here in this one. As starting on the pole, we're waiting for him to jump in there. It is the 16, Matthew Wood, who is our points leader. Matthew coming into this race with a massive points lead. All he's really going to do is kind of finish off tonight's race with a solid finish, and he should lock in the championship here this evening. As Xavier Ruggle-Bruggy will start in position number 2 in that 55 ride. So Zay starting there in that second position. Back in third is the Napa Auto Parts 100-year anniversary ride. That is the 9 machine of Benjamin Romano to his outside in the DJC Simtography number 31. That is Dylan Carrier starting there in 4th, starting in position number 5 in the beautiful breast cancer awareness AG Designs number 37 of Mr. Evan Stewart. To his outside will be the 32. That is Nick Biddy, who will start there in 6th, starting in position number 7 in the DHL number 98. It is Christoph, hopefully I'm getting that right, Christoph Hill in the number 7, or in the 7th position in that number 98 ride. He was outside in the 51. That is Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson looking for a good point stay here this evening, and so is his teammate and the early birthday boy, the beautiful 23 ride. That is Ryan Holler starting there in 9th. Rounding out our top 10 is the Downey Tide 57 ride of that is the 57 machine, Mr. Grant Applegate. Starting in 11th, that is the Hardy Designs ride of Dustin Hardy, Joe David there to his outside. Then we see Caleb Holloman, Mark Winbrewer, Ethan Greek, Noah Blackwell, Jaden Browder, William Jason Bogart, Zach Glader, Jordan Fisher, Aiden Lucas, Keegan Huey, Caden Gargiulo, Jeff Hurrick, Jaden Porter, Brandon Eddington, and James Jones bringing up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Richmond Raceway as we have a great show in store for you guys here tonight. 200 laps of racing action here on the docket. 200 laps to duke it out as Mrs. Holler says, cheering for Ryan Holler, you go PeaceMaker, 31 years. I'll cheer for you. I appreciate that, Mrs. Holler. And she says, go Wyatt Mickelson. Have a great race here on Wyatt here this evening as well. Dead Channel says, go hit Control R. Okay, well, we're under caution. Control R, okay, so then maybe there's an unupdated paint scheme here. We'll hit Control R and see if that loads in correctly for, I'm not sure who Dead Channel is or what car they're hoping to see gets changed, but we do see an early caution flag here this evening. Let's take a look back and see what happens as Jeff Hurrick in the number 49 run. There he is loaded in. Looks like Hurrick's going to run into an issue right here. Just loses that rear end. Goes around. Caden Gargiulo ends up getting into the back end of him. He gets loose himself. And unfortunately, Brandon Eddington in that discount tire ride does nowhere to go. Gets a piece of it as well here. As here we go. Let's see if there's any contact here between these two. As it was from pretty tight racing. And obviously for the 49 ride down low, just gets a good run underneath of that 7 ride. And nope, just gets back on the throttle, loses the rear end. 7 ride gets into him, gets loose himself, goes around. 12 ride of Eddington, nowhere to go. So early on, some damage there for the 1776 Motorsports ride of Mr. Caden Gargiulo. Some damage for Brandon Eddington and Jeff Hurrick. Also getting some contact and damage there as well. So some oopsies here early in the race, and it opens up the door for drivers to make early pit stops. And you do see Grant Applegate. Applegate's going to give up some pretty solid pit strategy, or pretty solid track position to head down pit road. You see Applegate down there, Keegan Huey also down pit side, Caden Gargiulo obviously looking to get repairs done. Same with Brandon Eddington and Jeff Hurrick all getting repairs. We did see Zach Glader also come down pit road and Marquin Brewer. Now for Glader, didn't really lose anything coming down pit side. Marquin Brewer loses about 7 positions. But for Grant Applegate, Applegate loses 14 positions coming down pit side right there. Loses 14 spots on the racetrack, and that is a lot of time. That is a lot to give up out there on the speedway. Dead Channel, which car is a different paint scheme here? That's, I'm trying to figure out who's got a different ride, who's got a different paint scheme out there on the speedway. Everything's looked kind of the same. Maybe Jaden Browder, maybe in that number 81 ride. Fisher's got a lane paint scheme now. That's an interesting one. Normally we see him in the Hardy Designs 19 ride, but here tonight doesn't look like that paint scheme is fully done in that 19 ride. See if there's anyone else that looks a little different. Okay, there we go. There's that GOAT Racing diecast number 34 ride. Another one of those beautiful beautiful breast cancer awareness rides out there. That's refreshed. That's looking nice out there on the speedway. The Hooters number 14, Marquin Brewer. Then you see the beautiful a lot of beautiful breast cancer awareness rides here tonight. I wasn't updated on whether or not this was a breast cancer one or not, as Dead Channel says the Bagel was supposed to have a different scheme. The Bagel. Oh, okay. Ruggle Bruggy? Is that the Bagel? Is that the Bagel? Who's the Bagel? Who's the Bagel? That's the big question now. Is here we go, back to green flag racing. So our first restart of the day, as out in front, Matthew Wood continues to lead the way. Xavier rolling there in second, trying to keep that 9 ride of Mr. Benjamin Romano back there at base. Here comes Dylan Carrier. Carrier right there, trying to work his 31 ride up and into third. Looks like he will make that move and steal position number 3 away from Benjamin Romano. Has got Ruggle Broggy. Okay, Ruggle Broggy was supposed to have a different paint scheme. Yeah, sometimes iRacing can be a little bit sporadic with those, but he stank. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, sometimes iRacing, if you don't set them in trading paints the correct way, if you have nighttime paint schemes to daytime paint schemes, and then same with like league paint schemes, sometimes they kind of just, you end up putting them in the wrong spot. So I'm sure that's probably what happened there for Xavier, or maybe he didn't click it on his favorite paint scheme, and this one saved his favorite paint scheme. That's kind of what I'm thinking. As Matthew Wood continues to lead the way here. Matthew continues to lay down quick times out there on the racetrack, but Xavier, Zay trying to hang right there with them. Zay's been one of those drivers that, you know, in through, you know, the few races that he's ran here with the Wheel-to-Wheel Racing League, he's been kind of right there. He has shown some really good pace in this 55 ride, and he has shown that he could potentially, you know, beat Matthew Wood, and I'm sure Matthew would love to see it. I'm sure Matthew, as much as he wants to win, continue to be a dominant racer out there on the speedway and find victory lane. I'm sure if he lost that 55 ride, I think he'd be pretty happy about that one, knowing that Xavier is going to be looking good, and next season could be looking very, very strong here in the Wheel-to-Wheel Racing League. As Carol says, go Xavier, car number 55, cheering on Mr. Runkle Brunky here this evening. As Anna, how are you, Mrs. Alessandro, coming in, showing the love here in this one, says, let's go Matthew, cheering on Mr. Wood again here this evening, and says, what's up, PeaceMaker? What's up, Anna? How are you? How's your Sunday? Hopefully you had yourself a wonderful weekend, and now you get to enjoy Matthew Wood being out in front, leading some laps here, and some good green flag laps being laid down as well. These guys are doing a great job after that early caution flag. Things are a little bit more cool, calm, and collective, especially there at the front of the field. A little bit of door-to-door back here is Caleb Holloman trying to complete the pass here on that Turning Point USA number 17 of Jason Bogart. Bogart still trying to work his way a little closer to the front of the field, and now look out, Caleb Holloman goes for a slide down through the grass here. That's a heartbreaker there for Holloman, having such a great run up inside the top 15, and that's all it takes. That one simple mistake, that one slip up, take a good run and make it bad in a quick hurry. See him lose that rear end out of corner number 4. Luckily enough, he's able to keep it rolling, able to keep on driving here, but he does fall from battling inside the top 15 to now being back in the 24th position. That is not a fun, that's not fun, losing all those spots out there on the racetrack. It's to see the beautiful 74 ride, another AG Designs machine, rolling there in position number 18. If you guys are looking for some amazing paint schemes, some amazing iRacing paint schemes, make sure you guys get a hold of some of the drivers here in this series. There's a bunch that create some absolutely amazing paint schemes. They do some great work. You're looking at one of them out there right now with the AG Designs. Get a hold of them, get your car worked on, get some good paint schemes, some fast-looking paint schemes out there on the racetrack. Another one's that 86 ride, Dustin Hardy, man. Get a hold of Hardy. Hardy does paint schemes as well. He does a lot of paint schemes for his team, and for the Hardy Designs team, man, they're always looking fresh out there, man. And they're always looking updated, new paints, new cars. They're looking fresh each and every single week that they're out there on the speedway. And you see Dustin up inside the top 10 right now. He's trying to work his way a little closer to the front of the field. He's got Noah Blackwell, another one of the painters here in that car. The 18 ride, that is the NJBDesigns.com machine. That is Mr. Noah Blackwell. Make sure you guys get a hold of NJB Designs as well, man. There's a lot of guys that work really, really hard at their craft. They're all super busy, but I know they all love to do what they do, man, and creating some of these amazing paint schemes. Check them out. Check out their work, and, you know, help them out here, man. Give them some things to do. Another one's Nick Biddy as well. Nick Biddy, I'm not sure if Nick Biddy does iRacing paint schemes or if that's more of like an actual, you know, like, what you want to call it there, like engineer plans for like buildings and stuff. I feel like that's potentially what Nick Biddy does with Nick Biddy Designs. Maybe it's iRacing paint schemes, but I don't think it is. It's kind of got the square in the thing. I don't know. Maybe it is iRacing paint schemes. Maybe engineer stuff. I'm not sure. That's an interesting one. If he does do paint schemes, make sure you guys check him out. If anyone in chat knows if Nick Biddy does actual iRacing paint schemes, or if it's more like engineered plans or designs for like houses and stuff like that, let me know in the chat. He rolls right now in that fourth position. Zay trying to keep himself in second. He's had to hold off Dylan Carrier. Carrier stays right there on his back bumper, looking to try to mount another challenge. And as Zay starts to fall back here and starting to feel that pressure from Dylan Carrier, it's bringing Biddy, it's bringing Jordan Fisher right into the battle as the Fish working his way up towards the front here. Fisher now inside the top 5. He started back in 21st. Gained a few spots there during that caution flag and a few cars coming down pit road. But other than that, Fisher's been navigating his way to the front of the field here in a quick hurry. He could be another driver that really gives, Xavier, Dylan Carrier, Matthew Wood a run for their money here this evening. As right now Matthew sits out in front, just over 2 seconds now between himself and Xavier Rogelbrongi. So he's opened up a 2-second lead. And for that 16 ride, he is looking to continue just to pull farther and farther away, trying to keep all these drivers back there at bay and potentially, out of, a good spot here this evening. He's trying to pick up more points, trying to give himself an even bigger points gap here this year, as he has been just a man on a mission week after week after week. And for that number 16 car, man, he's looked untouchable, unbeatable for a lot of these races in the playoffs. Even the ones he hasn't won, he's done really good, got big stage points, had solid finishes. And for this number 16 ride, as he rolls out in front right now, here's a look at the point standings. So for Matthew Wood, came into this race, this is the third. This is there's only 2 races after tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Only 2 races left of our playoffs, of our series in the season here. He's got a 146-point lead between himself and Evan Stewart. I don't even think it's mathematically possible for Zach Glader to catch him. So Matthew would virtually have to come last place in all 3 races or no stage points. Evan Stewart would probably have to win all the stages and probably have to win all the races to probably give himself an opportunity to pass Matthew Wood and beat him here for this championship. But I know Evan, he wants to park himself at least in second. You lose to Matthew Wood, that's 1 car to at least lose to. Zach Glader, Mickelson right there, Zach Perry up inside the top 5. Tight battle there for that 5th position. Only 3 points separating Zach Perry and Ryan Haller from a top 5 here in the point standings. Applegate, Biddy, Bogart, Keegan Huey, Aiden Lucas, Jordan Fisher back there at the back of the point standings. But for Matthew Wood, he's just looking for some good stage points, looking for another good run here this evening and an opportunity to potentially, pull away here and lock himself in after this race as our champion. Now he's got about 20 laps left to go here to try and pick up another stage win, which is a lot more points to go into his back pocket to help him out even more, trying to pull away from Evan Stewart. And right now where Evan's rolling back in about, where is he? Where is Evan Stewart? He is a ways away back here. Actually looks like Evan Stewart may have lost connection to the server. Looks like Evan Stewart no longer out there on the racetrack. This is a heartbreaker for that 37 ride. Potentially connection issues here. As we take a look here, if you guys can read that right there. So James Jones and Evan Stewart both unfortunately disconnected. For James Jones, it was a manually disconnected. He's back into the race. Unfortunately, he's only ran 9 laps right now. But for Evan Stewart, Evan lost connection due to download packet loss. And for Evan Stewart here this evening, a big race that he could have had, could have kept him in position number 2 here in those point standings. He's got to try to get connected back to this server. He's got to get loaded back in, hope that it doesn't happen again, and hope that no more drivers go a lap down, and it opens up the door for him to try and get some wave around, some lucky dogs, trying to get himself back into the lead lap and back into the battle here this evening to try to earn some points. And unfortunately, right now, he's going to be giving up a lot of points. Matthew Wood, obviously, he's going to earn 10 points here in the point standings with the stage win. When you look back at drivers like Nick Biddy, Wyatt Mickelson, even some of these other drivers that are fairly close, that are trying to work themselves into some stage points, they're not too far away from potentially jumping up there. When you look at Zach Glader, you look at Jason Bogart, some of these other drivers in our playoffs that are hoping to try to jump over that number 37 ride and potentially steal some stage points away from him. And obviously maybe he's trying to steal that second place as well. When you look at Wyatt Mickelson, he's one of those drivers that could jump up enough points if he has a bad night. If Wyatt has a good night, earn some good stage points, could definitely make the final two races very, very interesting there for that second position in the point standings. As Matthew Wood continues to lead the way, as Jordan Fisher has worked himself into second. Fisher has opened up about a 1.3 second lead between himself and Xavier Rogelbrogge, so he's got a pretty good gap. In Matthew Wood out in front by almost 4 seconds. We'll see that lead be evaporated with a caution flag as Dustin Hardy. Oh man, no luck here tonight for Dustin. Let's take a look back and see what happens as the 86 ride going to run into some issues here. Where is Hardy? Okay, so it looks like him and Jason Bogarts battling right here. The 86 comes out of the corner. Bogart's right there with him. Gets a good run. Shoots it in there. Unfortunately, gets in there too far and just shoots this 86 up the racetrack. Man, this is a very avoidable yellow flag. A very avoidable wreck right there. And unfortunately, for Bogart here, just gets in there too deep. Obviously, gets a run. Able to close the gap. He's trying to shoot down to the inside. And unfortunately, just does not run underneath the 86, just kind of runs right into that back bumper, and unfortunately for Dustin Hardy, man, beautiful looking paint scheme, beautiful looking ride out there. We're trying to have a good night here for his dad, and obviously not the way he wanted this one to go, as the Hardy Sim Shots ride ends up into the outside fence. Heavy contact, heavy damage there for him, and this is a tough one, man, and for Bogarts, this is a tough one for him as well, because I'm not sure if this will have any points deductions or anything else, because this is a very avoidable wreck right here. 86 doesn't really throw like a big egregious block. He's starting to make his corner, which you're supposed to do. He's at that point, and Bogart just tries to shoot it underneath of him, just misjudges it. Doesn't get low enough, quick enough. If he was half a car length lower, would have never made contact with him. Probably even would have got away with stealing that spot from the 86. Unfortunately for Dustin Hardy, he ends up into the fence here and potentially out of this race early on here after only 34 laps of racing action. His night may have been coming to a close right here. Let's see if we can jump on board with this number 86 ride. Is this a tough break here in this one? Yeah, just nothing he could do. And now it makes me question, like, was there something else that happened potentially earlier between the two of these guys? Was there any amnesty between them? Like, it's not like the 86 got onto the binders egregiously, rolled out of the throttle like he's supposed to. I don't know. This is just a weird one, man. This is a weird one. Tough break for two good drivers, two fast cats out there on the racetrack, and yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. He shifted up before the end of the corner. It kind of makes me wonder if whether or not Bogart didn't want to try to shoot underneath there, potentially accidentally upshifted instead of downshifted. And he downshifted. I don't know if these cars actually kind of use like a bit of an engine brake instead of the actual brakes on the car. I think that's maybe what he was trying to do right there, is try to use the engine brakes, try to downshift into corner number 3, and unfortunately ended up upshifting, so it just carried so much extra speed into the corner, and by the time he did that and realized it, didn't have enough time to drive far enough down low before making that contact. Definitely a tough one right there, and that's going to make things interesting as now we go back to green flag racing. There's only 10 laps left to go here in stage number 1 this evening, and you take a look at Nick Biddy. Biddy shoots down low. He's hoping for a big run underneath of Jordan Fisher. Fisher trying to hang there with him, and now we see Wyatt Mickelson bounce it off the outside fence. Oh, Mickelson, hang on to it, brother. He's trying to keep that car pointing in the right direction. Now we see more contact, more drivers going around. Caution flag is back out on the racetrack. Oh, cautions breeding cautions, and unfortunately this time it's Dylan Carrier who ends up into the fence here. We also saw some contact back there as the 74 gets into the 6th run, but it all starts right here out of corner number 2. You see Mickelson up pretty high here, looking for a big run, and unfortunately for Wyatt, as he makes this big wide turn up on the high side here, it just gives him a bad exit, and as he exit corner number 2, right there, bounces it off that fence, into the fence right there, pretty solid contact. Dylan Carrier really nowhere to go, not expecting to lose so much speed and momentum, ends up getting into the back end of that 51 machine, potentially the damage for the 31, or just being bent out of shape, sends it down into corner number, actually, yeah, he just ends up getting contact right here, as unfortunately, you see, I don't know, it doesn't look like there's any contact between Joe David and the number 74 ride here, as they're trying to shoot it in there, trying to gain a couple spots, and unfortunately for Xavier Rongo-Brongi, he did come down pit road, so this kind of helps him out even more, but right there, maybe a little contact there, but you do see Joe David end up getting into the 31, but he gets a shot. The 74 right there. This straightens out Joe David, sends David up the track into the 31 ride, and unfortunately for that 31 machine, he gets sideways, and then the 74, Jaden Porter, gets back into the 6 ride as the 6 goes sideways. You see the 31 up into the outside fence. Nowhere to go for Grant Applegate. Is Applegate going to drive in there? Gets a big piece there of that 31 machine. Luckily not for Joe David. Really not too much damage for him. But for Grant Applegate early on, man, this is a big hit for him. This is a big hit. Unfortunately, he's just trying to figure out where to go and how to get through all the chaos back here deeper in the field, and jumps to the extreme high side. Then all of a sudden starts to see him stack up. 31 right sideways and then parked right in front of him. That's a pretty big hit for both drivers. Some pretty solid contact and damage there for a few cats out there on the racetrack. So tough break, tough hits out there on the racetrack. We'll get them all stacked up, ranked up, ready to go back to battle. Good to see Dustin Hardy able to get that car refixed up and back out there onto the racetrack. Now, for Hardy, I do believe he was not in a lucky dog position. I do believe Caleb Holloman was in that free pass position. So for Caleb, he does jump back into position number 23, now showing as 1 lap down. I don't know if he's going to get a wave or not right here, and unfortunately for Dustin Hardy, Hardy himself is 3 laps down, so going to need a few more of those yellow flags here to try to work himself back on the lead lap, back into contention here this evening. For Evan Stewart, Evan is back out there on the racetrack, but losing connection to the server, having to rejoin. Unfortunately for Evan, he is currently about 8 laps down on the racetrack, and there's a lot of other cars to get wave arounds before him, so unfortunately could be a very, very long day for that 37 riders. Here we go, back to green flag racing. Going to be a 5-lap shootout now to this green and white checkered flag as stage number 1 about to come to a close, and here comes that 34 ride of Aiden Lucas. Aiden looking for a big run. He's on the outside here of that 19 ride of Jordan Fisher. Fisher trying to hold him up, but for Aiden Lucas, he's looking to make that pass. He wants to go after Matthew Wood and wants to try and steal this lead away from the 16. Is Wood trying to keep him back there at bay? His Hardy Design says, yeah, no beef, just lack of skill on his part. Yeah, the lack of skill sometimes the lack of skill gets all of us, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it can take us all at some point in time out there on the racetrack as Matthew Wood continues to lead the way here in this one. Trying to win this stage here in stage number 1. Jordan Fisher looks like he'll hang on to second. His lookout sideways down and out of corner number 2 there for the 34 of Aiden Lucas. Looks like Lucas will slide back another spot. And for one of the drivers that came down pit road, they're on lap number 37. Xavier Rongo-Brongi. Right now, he's the highest running driver who's already made a pit stop here this evening. And now we see the caution flag come back out. So the caution flag will come back out. That will end stage number 1 here this evening. So stage number 1 will come to an end. Matthew Wood will earn the stage win, as unfortunately a driver that needed a good solid run here this evening, Evan Stewart, looks like he's going to run into more issues as he's going to get a piece of the Hooters breast cancer awareness number 14 ride, and he's going to go around here. So there's contact between him and the Hooters ride. They get tied together. Unfortunately for the 14 of Mark Whitten Brewer, turned the wrong direction, stopped there on the racetrack. The caution flag will be displayed, and our first stage of the day will come to a close as each and every one of these drivers hoping to try to get a big run, hoping to try to get a bigger drive here in this one here as see how these drivers can play this out, man. Still a lot of laps, still a lot of racing, but now we're going to see things kind of cycle on through. Some drivers will come down pit road, take tires, take fuel. Other drivers that were already down pit side are going to stay out here on the racetrack. So that'll give the race lead now to Xavier Rongo-Broggi. And there looks to be at least 6 cars or so that are going to stay out here at the end of this stage. So Xavier Rongo-Broggi, Christoph Hall there in second, Jason Bogart, Benjamin Romano, Jeff Herrick, Zach Clater will be our top 6 when we go back to green flag racing. Noah Blackwell will be in 7th, Ryan Haller will be in 8th, Dalen Carrier, Jordan Fisher will round out our top 10 with Nick Biddy back in 11th, and Matthew Wood comes out of the pits back in that 12th position. So we'll have to wait and see if Wood can work his way through some of this traffic and try to work his way back to the point here this evening. He's only going to have just under 50 laps to try to gain all that track position, try to work his way up towards the front here and try to put himself back into a maybe a second stage win here on the day. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that because, man, it's going to get very, very interesting here in a quick hurry here this evening as each and every one of these guys will look to try to put themselves into victory lane as Cresser North Node Juno. What in the world is that? Okay, it's our what is this, like a biological, let me Google this. I don't know what that comment was there. Your north node indicates your path to growth and destiny. Well, Juno symbolizes partnership, commitment, and the qualities in a long-term partner. To understand this placement, you need to know specific north node in Juno signs and houses to reveal how your destiny intersects with your relationship patterns and needs for commitment. Okay, all right, interesting. I like that. So some astronomical comments in the chat. We like that. That's a good one. That's some information that I never knew before. I appreciate that there, Sosa Ribeiro, hopefully I'm getting that right. As here we go, back to green flag racing is Xavier Rongo-Broggi going to see that green flag fly. Xavier, Zay out in front, leading the way as a newcomer here to the season. Christoph Hall in position number 2. As we do see Nick Biddy get into the fence, we see another driver go around. It's Caden Gargiulo and Ethan Greek unfortunately turned around, pointed the wrong direction here in this one. So the Greek Freak goes for a ride down the back straightaway. Let's take a look back and see how this one gets started. So it looks like the 7 ride down at corner number 2 just loses the rear end right here, and so doesn't that 3E machine. So corresponding spins down the back straightaway here for the 3 and the 7 ride. Is there an oil slick out there? What is going on? It looks like an oil slick or something going on out here as you're going to watch the 7 ride here. It's that lime yellow and gray car going to get a little bit loose, lose the rear end. The 3 ride's going to follow almost virtually right in the tire tracks of the 7 ride. Luckily enough, a little bit higher, able to get onto the binders a little bit sooner and avoids getting any real major contact. Kind of gets a little bit of that left rear into the fence, but really no major contact there compared to the 7 ride, as that was a pretty good hit there for Caden Gargiulo as we get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to battle here in this one. Is Antoinette Rongo-Broggi says, "Let's go, Xavier!" Cheering on Zay here this evening as Zay getting ready to try to keep himself out in front, try to keep himself, at the front of the field here, leading this race. Unfortunately, a bunch of these other drivers back down pit road, getting repairs, trying to get their cars worked on, trying to get back out there and back into the battle for Caleb Holloman. I do believe Holloman does get the free pass. The lucky dog back on the lead lap, so that's a great break there for him. And now for Dustin Hardy, as long as none of these other drivers lose a lap, which case they all come out of the pits together, looks like Dustin Hardy for the next caution flag or two, potentially. We don't see a long green flag run. Could get a couple laps back. Right now, he is sitting 3 laps down, so virtually needs 3 lucky dogs to get himself back into this race, to back into this battle here this evening. Good to see James Jones back out there as well. James, unfortunately, disconnected, ended up losing connection to the server. Didn't start the race, ended up down pit road, and unfortunately for Mr. Jones, he is about 21 laps down after missing the start of this feature event. But good to see him out there, having some fun, enjoying his night here. The Sunday night Wheel-to-Wheel Racing League quickly coming to a close for this season, but season number 2 right around the corner. So we do see Applegate back down pit side, trying to get more repairs done to that 57 as we get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing as the number 55 ride of Xavier Rungle-Brunke out in front, getting ready to see this green flag fly here once again in this one. As Anna says, happy birthday to Ryan! Huge happy birthday to Ryan Haller, the driver of the number 23 ride. It's not quite his birthday right now. He turns 30 on Thursday. So this is the race before his birthday. He wanted to call this his birthday race. So for the 23 ride, huge shout out there for him as he's no longer 23. He is getting ready to turn 30 years old. And for myself, not too far away, next Sunday we'll celebrate a little bit. Next Sunday will be the day before my birthday. Then we'll really get to celebrate my birthday, because we'll get to celebrate me turning 31 here in this one. And look out, there it is! More contact, more chaos. Joe David turned around in the G. Loomis ride. He gets turned the wrong direction for his Ford Mustang. He'll go for a loop-de-loop down and out of corner number 2. Let's take a look and see how this party got started once again. So it looks like he's got the 51 ride here of Wyatt Mickelson down to his inside. Now Wyatt kind of shoots from the middle right here, and they are 3 wide. I do believe right there, yeah, just on corner exit, Mickelson's going to get a piece of him, probably trying to fall in behind here, or at least look like he was hoping that he would be able to be clear and get to the fence. Unfortunately, Joe David just did not get the run that the 51 ride did, being a little higher up there on the racetrack, and unfortunately just does not clear him. A race of inches, unfortunately gets a piece of him, turns him sideways. Wyatt bounces it off the wall. They were getting a little damage for himself, and for Joe David, this is not a fun scene as you look out that driver's side window and you see all these drivers seem rolling down the back straightaway at you. Luckily enough, he was far enough back there, wasn't too many cars to get around him, and everyone able to keep themselves out of chaos out there on the speedway. So we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to try this all over again. As Anna says, true, and says, getting old, laugh my ass off. I know, Anna, I know, we're getting old. 31 years. Man, where did the time go? I wish I would have started doing this streaming a long time ago. I wish I would have been 21 years old and having 5 years into doing, broadcast and playing games and streaming and everything else. That would have been a lot better. But definitely, PeaceMaker needs a little golf birthday. Oh, Anna, hey, you might be onto something. Mrs. Haller, you might be onto something right there. I wouldn't mind a little golfing birthday. We went golfing earlier today. Shot a 78, had some ups, had some downs, had a couple bad holes, had a few really good holes. Finished the round off strong though, and we ended up, I don't even know, we were like 1 over on the back 9, but we went 5 over or something like that on the front 9. So the back 9 was definitely way better. Actually, the back 13 holes were really, really good. I think we were only 1 over for those back 13 holes. It was like the first 5 holes of the round were just not that good, as Hardy Designs Cup Series says only 2 more. Only 2 more, Hardy. Only 2 more as Dustin does get that wave around. Now 2 laps down. He's still in line to potentially get more laps back here and trying to get himself back into the battle here in this one. As Anna says, I'm sure he will go golfing. Oh, man, I hope. If the bank account allows it, I might. We're off on Mondays, so until our series gets started again on Mondays, which will get started there at the beginning of November. So I am off on Mondays for the most part. I do know, I'm pretty sure I'm working that day. I think I'm doing a fence build, so I'll probably be gone for a little bit, but maybe get 9 holes in the afternoon, maybe. I know I'm going to Denny's for the free breakfast. I do know that. Free breakfast at Denny's is a must. I don't turn down free food, and if Denny's is giving out free food for my birthday, I'm taking advantage of it, man. I'll take a free breakfast all day, every day. As Xavier gets another good jump, another good restart. This time looks like we make it down the back straightaway. Pretty clear. No big issues. No one turned the wrong direction. We're clean and green here for another good green flag lap. So at least for a little bit, we stay green flag here in this one. Hopefully we can get another good run, click some more laps up, and get us a little bit closer here to the checkered flag this evening. As out in front, it's Xavier Rogel-Brugge. Xavier leads the way here in this one, trying to keep all these drivers back there at bay. As Zay out in front. Christoph Hall in position number 2 here this evening. Now, I hope I'm saying his name right. Is it Christoph? I don't think it'd be it's not Christopher, it's Christoph, right? Like, I feel like I'm getting that right. Let me see here, chat. What do you guys think? That is Christoph Hall, right? From Pensacola, Florida. 22 oval wins on iRacing, the 98 Chevrolet. I do believe that's how you say it. Christoph Hall. Hopefully I get that right. I try my best to get these names right. Yay for Denny's free B-Day breakfast. Yeah, 100% yay for that one. Yay for that one. I don't turn down free food. Listen, if there's any other places that give out free stuff, you guys let me know in the comment section right now. If there's any other fast food places that tend to give out free stuff, let me know. Like, I'm talking, I think Shoeless Joe's gives out a free cookie. I'm down for that, like cookie dessert. I'm down for that. I'll go there, just get that. It's my birthday. That's all I want, and I want it to go. And then, I don't know, I think Starbucks does like a free birthday drink or something like that. I've never went to Starbucks, so I don't know about that one. I'm pretty sure my sister went there one time on her birthday, and she got a free birthday drink, so I don't know if they still do that. But if you guys know of any of these hidden birthday secrets, man, I'm going to take advantage of them this year, okay? Maybe we'll make a YouTube video out of it or something and see what we can haul in, go into some different fast food places for our birthday. Maybe we'll go ask them other places too. Maybe we go to KFC, McDonald's, Wendy's, and just go out to them and be like, hey, it's my birthday. What can I get for free today? And see what they do. See if they give us anything. Maybe they give us nothing. Maybe they give us a little something, you know? Who knows? All right, as the caution flag did come back out, as Anna says, wait till he's my age. Bones hurting all the time. Oh, Anna, I don't need to be your age to feel that way already, okay? I do construction for a living. It is already hurting like crazy. So let's take a look back here. Looks like potentially Keegan Huey going to be running into some issues here. Maybe a few drivers in front of him as well. There we go. There it is. So it looks like Jeff Hurrick here in the 49 ride going to run into some problems. And the 34 ride is the one that kind of starts it here with Ryan Haller. Oh, brother, here we go. So it looks like Aiden Lucas going to make some contact right here. Now, I don't think Haller comes up the track and into him. I think right here you're going to see Aiden Lucas cut down even farther. I think he thinks he's clear. Haller's leaving the bottom open for the car behind him. Unfortunately, they just run out of room. They make some contact there. Unfortunate break there for Aiden Lucas, as that's just good hard racing. Then you're going to see Nick Biddy. All these guys are trying to get checked up. Unfortunately, Biddy bounces in and through that 49 ride of Jeff Hurrick, and that's going to get Hurrick up and into the outside fence. Pretty heavy hit there for that 49 ride as well, man. That's a big, big hit. Heavy damage for that Hardy Designs Dodge number 49 machine out there on the speedway. So a couple tore up race cars and another caution flag out there on the speedway as Hardy Designs says one more, baby, one more. Yeah, Anna, when I was When I was 12 years old, I had major back surgery. I had major back surgery. I got about a foot and a half long scar. I think about a foot and a half long scar right down the middle of my spinal cord, right from my tailbone up to basically almost the middle of my shoulder blade. So I had a major back surgery when I was 12 years old, and then about 5 years later ended up having the same surgery, just more stuff added into it. About 5 years later, when I was 17, before I was even legal age to vote, had a second major back surgery, and I've had ankle surgery, I've had shoulder surgery, a bunch of other stuff. I've had hand surgery as well, from broken knuckles and everything else. So yeah, I've been there. My bones are brittle. I'm old. After the first back surgery, my doctor said, congratulations, you now have the back of a 70-year-old. That was the first back surgery. So after the back surgery, I'm assuming I have a back of about a 140-year-old now. And trust me, I feel it every single day. It's hurting right now. It is hurting right now. So I'm feeling it. As here we go, more contact, more carnage out there on the racetrack. We knew it wasn't going to be long, and this one could be a big one as they're still piling in there. Fellas, you got a brake pedal. Get onto the binders, and this is great news for Dustin Hardy. As Hardy, it's never over till it's over, brother. Dustin back on the lead lap, back into the action here this evening. As let's take a look and see how this one gets started. We saw it coming down the back straightaway, unfortunately, for newcomer here to the series. Christoph Hall goes for a bit of a ride here. Let's take a look at it, see what happens here as Christoph and the 9 ride of Benjamin Romano. They're duking it out here. They're currently in that 3rd and 4th position. The 2 yellow cars out there on the racetrack, the DHL and the Napa Auto Parts cars, side by side, down and out of core number 2, which is going to be probably the problem area. And you see the 9 ride gets loose, shoots down the racetrack. We've already seen this a couple times here this evening. Unfortunately, as he comes down, he ends up clipping this 98 machine of Christoph, and unfortunately for Mr. Hall, he gets turned up the racetrack here. As he gets turned up the track, nowhere to go for the 31 ride. Pretty good damage there again for Dylan Carrier. Now you see the 81 of Browder trying to get checked up, and everyone else trying to get checked up to avoid it here. And unfortunately, more and more cars just get ran over, get tore up out there on the racetrack as Romano kind of slides down the racetrack. I think for the most part, drivers are able to avoid him. Oh, it looks like Haller maybe gets a little contact into it as he bounces into the inside fence. Now, we did see, unfortunately, for Carrier, obviously more damage for him, but we also see the number 81 ride of Jaden Browder. Browder's trying to avoid this, trying to keep himself out of it, and all of a sudden, you see the 97, the 57, they get tied together. They slam up into the 81. He gets into the fence. It's a little rear-end damage as well from Joe David. Is a pretty big one back there, man. A lot of cars, a lot of drivers getting tore up out there on the speedway. And another caution flag is a great break for the number 86 as Dustin Hardy finds himself back onto the lead lap, back into the action here in this one. He says, let's go, baby, let's go, brother. Yes, Sirski, back into the action, back into the battle here in this one. As Anna says, I'll be 65 next month. Oh, Anna, I don't even want to imagine what I'll be like in what, 34 years. It's not going to be good. If I'm still kicking, if I'm still around, my poor brittle body already is going to be absolutely crippled. I plan on you probably being in a wheelchair before I'm 50. So that's the fun part about my life. Fun part about my life right there. But you know what? That may give us more time to be up here in the broadcast booth and to be able to cheer these drivers on. As we do see Dylan Carrier making his way back down pit road, still trying to get more damage repaired to this NJBDesigns.com number 31 ride. Hoping to stay on the lead lap, and he's got to be careful here as our race leader is getting ready to go back to green flag racing. And Sam says, Hardy back in it here. He just got to gain that track position back, put himself back into the battle. He's going to race his way up here to the front of the field. As here we go, back to green flag racing as Xavier Ruggle-Bruggy gets another good launch, another good restart, but now he's got some fast cats that have slowly worked their way back up here towards the front. Now we see Jordan Fisher, Matthew Wood right there. Here comes Noah Blackwell as well, trying to work their way around Xavier. Xavier does have about 13 lap older tires than these guys, and unfortunately unfortunately, it's not going to work out too well for him. He may fall backwards right here. We'll have to wait and see what the strategy call is, as he did lose the lead just at the line to Jordan Fisher. Fisher was able to jump in front of Zay, and unfortunately for Zay, he falls back into position number 2 here as the caution flag does get displayed here again. Another quick caution flag here, as this is a common theme. This could be a regular thing here this evening, as I do believe we're going to see Benjamin Romano get into the 57 ride right here of Mr. Grant Applegate. So Applegate roll in the middle, Benjamin down low, and it looks like Ben's just going to get up the track, gets into the 57 ride Mr. Applegate here, and unfortunately for Grant's going to slide sideways. The 9 right trying to check up. Dustin Hardy gets a little piece of his back bumper right there, but with the 57 pointing the wrong direction, going around here. Our official getting a great look at it there up top of the flag stand. Here comes the 31 ride. That's where the caution flag will be displayed, and oh man, Grant's trying to get this thing pointed back in the right direction. Dylan Carrier had to make a big evasive maneuver to try to keep himself out of that trouble. Man, that is a close call there for those guys, because that could have ended both of their nights in a quick hurry. And Sam Hardy says, I have had 2 neck surgeries and a back surgery, so I feel you, brother. Yeah, it is not fun, man. Anytime you go under the knife, anytime you have any kind of major serious issue, it is not fun, and they may say that the pain goes away, but it never goes away. I haven't had a day without back pain since I was about 11 and a half years old, something like that, because it was about half a year or so, maybe about 12, somewhere around there, since having back pain, and it stunted my growth as well, which really sucked. I was in grade 7, I do believe, when I was 12. I was in grade 7, and yeah, it was not fun. I was the tallest kid in school. I was about 5'10" already, and unfortunately, after that back surgery, I think I've only gotten shorter. I haven't grown since then. Stunted my growth right there at 12. So that one sucked. That one sucked, and it was definitely tough, man. It hurts every single day. So you guys know what I'm going through. It is painful, chat. It is painful being me, and I'm in the wrong line of work, because construction is not easy, especially when you got to shovel or even just stand on a roof or anything. Back when I used to build and repair cell phone towers, it was the same thing, unless if I was hanging in my bucket seat, 3, 4, 5, 1,800 feet in the air. It sucked. Climbing the ladder sucked. Carrying all the heavy equipment sucked. It was tough going, but good money in that job. But now it's just good money, just very, very tough on the whole body here, and your boy feels it. Your boy feels it, man. That's why I like doing this, and I like doing basically part-time work, doing construction, where I can go kind of like, week to week sort of deal, on a couple days here, a few days there, maybe a week or 2 weeks here at a time sort of deal. And kind of just breaks it up, because after 5 days of construction, 5 days of hard manual labor, your boy's feeling pretty dang broken. Even after a day or 2, I'm feeling broken, but grind it out for a week at a time, trying to get better, trying to earn some extra dough that way, and it's a tough life, man. Tough life. It's Jordan Fisher, though. Fisher out in front, has the race lead. Matthew Wood, who's already leading the points here in that 16 ride. Won stage number 1. He's looking to try to win stage number 2 as well. With all these caution flags, they've been slowly clicking away these laps. We've been getting closer and closer and closer towards the end of this stage, and for right now, it's going to be hard to see what they can do under the green flag condition, because the caution flag will come back out again. Oh, no, looks like Dustin Hardy collected in it. Looks like Ryan Haller, Caleb Holloman in here as well. Where is this one going to get started? This one may be interesting. Okay, looks like Haller and Hardy may get this party started here, as Hardy to the outside here of Ryan Haller. Haller, unfortunately, it's a little piece of contact in there with him. Now trying to avoid that number 86, Ryan, trying to keep himself out of him. Looks like for Haller, just kind of falling back right here, struggling a little bit. As he sends it in here, gets down low, gets to the middle, pushes, gets tight, straightens out, and as he does, just ends up getting into that left rear of the 86. Ryan, luckily enough, doesn't look like major contact or damage really to any of these cars. You see Holloman come to a stop right there. Everyone doing a great job trying to avoid him. Haller has to come back to a stop, I do believe, for Dustin Hardy. I don't see any major contact or damage there for Dustin, as obviously his tough night getting even tougher here, and luckily enough, yeah, looks like everyone is able to split him, not make any additional contact or damage there with the 86, so another good break there for him, as we do see Brandon Eddington. Unfortunately for Eddington, he's been down pit road since about lap number 35, lap 36. Fortunately, looks like his day may be done. He's still parked down pit road. We haven't seen this discount tire ride roll out since then, so we'll have to wait and see how this one plays out for Brandon Eddington. Definitely a tough break there for that discount tire number 12 ride, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to try to go back to green flag racing, as Jordan Fisher has the race lead. Matthew Wood there in second, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here. I do believe we should have just over 10 laps left to go here. Should be probably around, see if the lights turn off here. Lights are still on the official iRacing pace car, so at least another lap around. So we should have about 11 laps left to go here in this feature event, unless we get the one to go down the back straightaway here. This should get very, very interesting. Another short run to finish off this stage, and could be a lot of short runs to finish off this race the way it's been going here for us. So you had that good green flag run there in the middle of stage number 1. Be nice to see if we can get a good run here to finish off this second stage this evening, as yeah, the pain sucks. The battle sucked, man, every single day of the week. Obviously dealing with the back pain and everything else. It's a tough break, man. It's very, very tough. And if you guys want to help us out and help us through the pain, make the life a little bit easier, man, every comment, every like, every time you share the stream and drop the like and comment on it, really helps push the stream out more and more and more. And definitely helps us out a lot. It doesn't really necessarily help us out a ton monetarily, but it does help push the stream out to more and more viewers, where we could get potentially more ad revenue, but at the same point in time could earn more and more prospective viewers, members, people to join the PeaceMaker family and become part of the supporter group here in the PeaceMaker fam as well. So make sure you guys are always doing that, man. Every time we go live, if you guys can just hop in, watch for a few minutes, hit the like button, hit the share button if you're feeling courteous, man. Helps us out a ton here. As here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Looks like we will go to single file here for this restart. Is down and through the Geico restart zone. Jordan Fisher gets a great launch, great restart right there for him. Now we do see Aiden Lucas starting to work his way up towards the front here once again. Aiden did come down pit road back on lap number 68, got some repairs and maybe got some fresh tires in the 34. Ryan trying to race his way back up towards the front of the field here in this one. As Fisher down and out of corner number 4, down across the line. We'll see 10 laps left to go here in stage number 2. So almost to our halfway point, and unfortunately, we will see another caution flag fly. This time, looks like James Jones tied up in it. Looks like he is going to go around, see if he has any help or if he just loses the handle of this car. Here we go. Yeah, just loses the rear end right there. Car goes around. Caution flag gets displayed. So the yellow flag coming back out here again in this one now. All these yellow flags, luckily enough, are helping one driver. 37 ride of Evan Stewart. Evan, he's loving this. He's starting to get some laps back here himself. And for Evan Stewart, you know, he's still a lot of laps down, but he is the only car that is currently a lap down out there on the racetrack. So he's went from 8 laps down to now only being, what, about 6 laps down here behind our race leader. So he's gained a couple laps back, and we see more and more of these yellow flags. Obviously the stage break about to come up here in the next handful or so laps, and that could give him another lap back, and could slowly but surely see this 37 ride potentially get back onto the lead lap here this evening if the chaos continues out there on the racetrack. And now we do see a lot of drivers trying to flip the stage. So we see this 57 of Applegate. We see Zach Clater, Caleb Holloman, Keegan Huey. They're coming down pit road. They're trying to flip the stage right now. We did see a few drivers like Dylan Carey or Hall or these guys that needed some repairs, but also could flip this stage as well. came down during the last caution flag, so this could get very, very interesting for some of these drivers trying to flip the stage, put themselves into a good position for the second half of this race. And after our second stage break, as Mrs. Holler says, yikes. Yikes is right. Yikes is right, Mrs. Holler is. Here we go. We'll get them stacked up. We'll get them racked up. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Hopefully here again this evening. Hopefully we'll go back to green flag for a few more laps. It would be nice to see, another 5-lap run here to the end. Hopefully see it go clean and green. Really see if Jordan Fisher can hold off Matthew Wood. If Matthew can try and mount a challenge, build up that speed and momentum, and try to put himself back towards the front of the field. It seems like the 16 ride really seems to be more hooked up here on the long run. We saw him really start to pull away there in that first stage of the day and be able to open a pretty sizable lead there before some of those late caution flags in stage number 1. But for the 16, it seems like if he doesn't have that top position, it takes him a few laps to kind of get that car rolling, kind of get that momentum built up and gain the track position that he loses off the first lap or two back before he can go after battle. So he's going to need a few laps here to really try to get himself back into the action, back into the hunt here at the front and trying to win stage number 2 here this evening. And with him potentially winning the stage or even coming home in second in this stage, may have opened up a big enough point differential between himself and Evan Stewart that I feel if he can come home second or win this stage, should be enough points between him and the number 37 of Evan Stewart here that it should lock Matthew Wood into our championship here this season. He's virtually already got it locked up, and I think mathematically it may be locked up here with another good stage run for that 16 machine. As Jordan Fisher down through the Geico restart zone sees that green flag fly once again. It is 5 laps left to go here in this stage, so 5 laps to duke it out, to go to battle to see who can win stage number 2 on the evening. As Jordan Fisher out in front, it's Matthew Wood right there in second. Aiden Lucas was able to steal position number 3 away from Xavier Rungle-Brugge, so Rungle-Brugge falls back there to 4th with Noah Blackwell. Rounding out our top 5, Jason Bogart up and into 6th, Wyatt Mickelson there in 7th, Jeff Hurrick. Jeff having a solid run here in that 49 ride if he can hang on to it. Oh, gets loose, tags the fence, luckily enough keeps it pointing the right direction for Jeff Hurrick. Unfortunately went from just inside the top 10 to now outside the top 10 here, as that will move Biddy there into 8th. Christoph Hall back inside the top 10 there in 9th. And Jaden Browner in that Red Bull number 81 ride jumps up into that 10th position here on the speedway. But it's Jordan Fisher out in front, able to hang on to the race lead. Matthew Wood right there behind him. Does Wood have anything here in the closing laps? 2 laps left to go here in stage number 2. Can Matthew Wood jump back in front of him, steal this stage win? Does he have the car? Does he have the ability to get it done here? We'll have to wait and see if he makes a move. As Jordan Fisher, nice and easy, down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4, will complete lap number 99. So this is the final lap here in stage number 2 this evening. So the 19 down through corner number 1, nice and easy out of 2, able to keep his foot in the throttle, opens up a couple car length lead, and that will hold. Matthew Wood back there and Bay is down and out of 4. Jordan Fisher will pick up stage win number 2 here this evening. Matthew Wood will come home in second. Aiden Lucas there in third. Xavier Rungle-Brugge, Noah Blackwell, our top 5, all earning some stage points as Jason Bogart, Nick Biddy, Christoph Hall, Marquin Brewer, and Jaden Browner will round out the top 10 here in our second stage. And look who's just outside our top 10 here, just outside earning some stage points. What's this 86 ride of Dustin Hardy? Hardy's back up into that 13th position, so a driver going from, 3 laps down out there on the racetrack has been able to get some lucky dogs, has been able to get some good breaks, and he has worked himself up and into that 13th position. Great rebound here for Dustin Hardy here this evening, as Matt Davidson says, with that, I have secured the championship by 6 points. Matthew, by the way, Matthew, different different YouTube. Okay, that's interesting. That one caught me off guard there by a little bit. When I read the I have secured the championship, I thought that was a little bit odd, but now it makes more sense that it is Matthew Wood there. It's Matthew Davidson there. As he says, with that, he has secured the championship by 6 points. So no matter what, if he left this race right now, if he went home and didn't complete another lap here this evening, if Matthew missed next week's race and our season finale, he would still win this championship by 6 points here this year. So Matthew Wood, 2.5 races left to go here on the season, and he finds himself as our champion. That is absolutely outstanding. Let's see if we can pull Matthew up here quickly into the booth for a little in-race interview here. Where's he hiding? He's over here. Let's see if we can pull him up here real quick. Hey, Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth to get a copy.
What's up, buddy?
Not much. Matthew, man, we just read your comment. Obviously, we knew it was definitely going to be the question of the day, not of, if you will lock in this championship this afternoon, but kind of when you will. And now knowing that no matter what, if this race goes upside down for you, you don't finish it from this point going forward, and you miss the next 2 weeks, and you still have this championship locked up, and you are the inaugural wheel-to-wheel racing champion here on the season, man. How does that feel knowing that you have that locked in, and you kind of get to, just take it easy through the next, 2.5 races?
It feels great. I've spent 5 years trying to get a league championship, and I did the math, and you can gain 60 points in a race, 20 points in a stage, and right now I'd be 65 points ahead of Evan, so he cannot gain. He would need to gain 46 points, and that is impossible at this time. So I've been working for one for a while. I just wish Fisher and Aiden would have been here, and Evan wouldn't have had connection issues, so we would have battled for it, but. Yeah, it feels nice. I could go out there and hopefully not actually end up upside down, but have a good battle with Fisher.
Yeah, absolutely. But now it's no stress, no pain or anything else. So you kind of just get to go out there, enjoy your time, and have some fun out there on the speedway. Matthew, good luck here on the rest of the race, and see if we get you back up here into the booth by the end of the night.
All right, God bless you all.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Matthew Wood locked in as our inaugural season champion. As Mike Greek, Mike says, holy cautions, he says. Mike, I feel you there on that one, brother. I feel you there on that one. Trust me. I'm not a fan of all the yellow flags either. I know for the most part these drivers, they do not like all the yellows. They want to see clean green laps. They want to battle it out. They want to duke it out here amongst each other and not have the race kind of affected or decided by the yellow flags. So definitely a bit of a tough one. Hopefully the second half of this race we'll get it cleaned up. We'll get it going, but it is not off to a great start, unfortunately, as the yellow flag will be displayed again here in this one. 106 laps into the race, and another yellow flag as it looks like Noah Blackwell this time going to run into issues. So the NJBdesigns.com number 18 ride. This is a common theme here at this racetrack at Richmond Raceway. Just rolling the inside lane, trying to get a good run on corner exit. And unfortunately, as you watch this NJB M&M's looking car, Mr. Noah Blackwell just gets back on the throttle, lose the rear end. You see the 17 right of Jason Bogart virtually doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. Virtually corresponding spins here between the two of them, looking like synchronized swimmers out there as both the 17 and 18 go for a slide down and out of corner number 4. They both down into the Cookout 400 logo there in the infield here at Richmond Raceway, and unfortunately as they're sideways sliding there on the speedway, that will bring the caution flag back out. So another yellow flag and another opportunity for drivers to either run into issues, try to gain some position, try to keep themselves in the battle. If you look back at the 18 ride of Mr. Noah Blackwell here, Blackwell was battling to the inside here of Xavier Rongelbrangi, and Zay right now rolls in position number 5 on the racetrack. So that was a battle for that 5th position, and unfortunately even some of our top 5, some of our front runners and fastest cars out there on the racetrack still make those mistakes. So that was 2 drivers inside the top 10 that just slid down and out of corner number 4. Unfortunately, trying to gain a little bit too much out there on the racetrack and feeling the pain and the consequences of getting onto the throttle and sliding that car around, as they will now be back there deeper in the field. As Noah Blackwell now scored back at about the 19th position. And unfortunately for Bogart, he'll be there in 17th, as we did see Jaden Porter and a few more of these drivers navigate their way down pit side, including Jeff Hurrick. Hurrick comes down pit road there. Same with Keegan Huey. Now for Ethan Greek. Ethan, I'm not sure if Ethan may have jumped out of this race. That's a tough break right there for Ethan, as it does look like the 3E machine is unfortunately, I do believe, either lost connection or left this race. Yeah, it looks like Ethan Greek, unfortunately, manually disconnected and has left this race here this evening. That's a heartbreaker there for Ethan. Definitely a tough race. This is a tough racetrack, man, and, you know, it's usually played out this way in a lot of the leagues that I've done, a lot of the NASCAR Cup Series leagues that I've been a part of. They have all kind of turned out this way. There's been a couple that have been pretty, you know, half decent. The trucks tend to do really good here, but for some reason these NASCAR Cup cars, man, always seem to be a wild animal here at Richmond Raceway. It's almost the same with Martinsville. Martinsville is another one. Martinsville and Richmond can be just absolutely caution plagued in these Cup cars, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the driving style, the cars themselves, or what the scenarios are that makes them, you know, just ill handling. We see so many cars just lose the rear end, go around. We see drivers, you know, different driving styles. They run over top of each other. Some drivers, that's, I think, really the big thing is the contact and cars getting around that way. Is a lot of times drivers will back a corner up. They'll roll out of the throttle a little bit sooner, and if you do that, you've got a car right behind you. The car behind you may drive it deeper into the corner. It hurts their corner exit, but for the car that takes a little bit of a back step, rolls out of the throttle sooner into the corner, you know, they get a better exit speed. So it's kind of give and take. Some drivers like the better entry, other drivers like the better exit, and in turn, vice versa, that's where we see the contact and drivers kind of running over top of each other. Alrighty, as we do go back to green flag racing, the caution flag will come back out here. So another caution, another issue here. Now this one, I don't know who this was for. Take a look here. I'm not sure who may be turned around. Okay, there it is. So it's the 54 ride getting sideways right there after contact from Jeff Hurrick. Looks like Hurrick just gets in there a little too far. This is, again, the same scenario that we were talking about right here. One driver backs it up. The other driver sends it in there deep. And that's where we see them run over each other. So the 54 already out of the throttle. Trying to make this corner, trying to make it easy where he can get a big exit velocity. The 49 ride sends it in there deeper, though, which gives him a better entry to gain time, but a worse-off exit. And unfortunately, when those two kind of get nose to tail, it just kind of hooks this 54 ride. And unfortunately for James Jones, the car's just going to lose it and go around here. And I'm not sure if there was any other issues, if more drivers ended up having problems, or that was it. I do believe that was the issue. That was the problem. Unfortunately, that brings the caution flag right back out, as Sam Hardy says this has to be a record for cautions, laugh out loud. It might get there. If it keeps up this pace, it may get there, Sam. It may get there. I had a truck race probably about 3 years ago at Martinsville. I think we had almost 30 cautions. I think it was 30 cautions. It might have been 31 yellows. It was a 250 lap race. There was 31 caution flags. We did 166 or 186 laps under yellow flag. It was really bad. It was really bad. Yeah, Martinsville with those trucks, it turned into just a wreck fest. I think that's the record that I have seen in a race, especially a league race. Not only just a league race compared to a random hosted where you get a bunch of no-name drivers that don't know each other. So yeah, that one's definitely that's definitely holding the record. I think here tonight, it'll probably still be holding the record, only because this one is 200 laps compared to the Martinsville race that was 250. I think this one, if it keeps up this pace, may have 20 yellows, maybe get towards 25. I don't know, somewhere in there. I don't even know how many cautions we've seen. Let me see, this may show it. No, this shows laps. Oh, there it is. 14th caution so far. This is the 14th caution. I mean, they're somewhat on pace. Somewhat on pace. Definitely a lot, but I mean, it happens. It happens. You just got to roll with the punches and hope that it gets cleaned up. Obviously, now trying to go single file for restarts. Tends to try to get it a little bit better. Tends to get a little bit more decent, but a lot of times that still doesn't work. We've seen it already tonight where it doesn't. As here we go. Back to green flag racing. Applegate out in front. Jordan Fisher there in second. Matthew Wood rolls in position number 3 out there on the speedway. Aiden Lucas there in 4th with Xavier Rugglebruggy. Zay rolls there in that 5th position. This was probably going to be, if Zay was here for the entire season, I think this was probably going to be the 5 drivers. If they all would have showed up for these races, they all would have raced each and every single week. Obviously, we know that Aiden and Jordan both missed a bunch of races here in these playoffs. Applegate missed a few races as well in the playoffs. I think that these 5 inside the top 5 right now could have really duked it out here for this championship. I think it would have went any one of their directions, man. All 5 drivers definitely very capable of winning, putting the pressure on Matthew Wood, definitely in positions to probably pick up big wins here in big races. Nick Biddy, another driver. Christoph Hall here so far on the evening. Christoph has shown a ton of speed out of this 98 ride. If Christoph is here for season 2, this 98 ride looks like he's got some good pace, some good speed. Same with Jaden Browder. If he can make every race and battle for the championship, have good luck, good breaks here, I think a lot of these drivers inside our top 9, even our top 10 right now, could definitely be serious championship threats for season 2. And that just shows you the talent level that's out there on the racetrack. You look back at Haller, you look at Bogart, you look at Blackwell. Some of these guys are very capable in their own rights to potentially win races in trying to win championships. Dylan Carrier back there, if he's here for season 2, he's another driver that could be right there in line. We've seen Evan Stewart have such a great season as well. He sits second in the point standings coming into this race. Evan Stewart's another driver that could be, you know, a very high up championship hopeful next year. So next season, chat, could be absolutely wild. Could be absolutely crazy. We do see Ryan Haller get up into the outside fence here. Let's play this one back and take a look as Haller tags the wall here. Just gets loose. We've seen this time and time again. Right there, gets loose. Snap hooks up into the outside fence. Unfortunately, Jaden Porter gets into the back end of that 23 ride. Helps him out there a little bit more. And now we do see the caution flag flies. This time looks like Joe David in the 6 car. I'm pretty sure we saw this earlier. Joe David just down and out of corner number 2, gets loose, loses that rear end, tries to save it, snap hooks around, car gets pointed the wrong direction, gets turned around, gets pointed the wrong direction here, and unfortunately, a couple cars make contact there with them, including Haller and Jeff Hurrick. Hurrick smashes into the 6 ride. Now, I don't know how long Hurrick had to try to get checked up, to try to avoid this car, but it was dang near the entire straightaway, man. Some guys, I don't know, I think they just like to see the world burn and definitely probably had time to get onto the binders and avoid running into our caution flag here. So he's turned around right here. We can see it here. Unfortunately for Hurrick, might be a little harder from the cockpit, but the yellow flag should have been out for a little while here. He's going to drive it in there. Let's see if we can see when the caution lights turn on. So they're not on there. All right, caution lights are on right here. So you should be rolling out the throttle. He starts to get off the throttle here, not quite onto the binders until all of a sudden the 6 ride's parked right in front of him. And unfortunately, just looks like not enough time there as the cars in front of him kind of blocked his view. And all of a sudden, they're parked right there in front of him on his lap, and he drives right into the side of that 6 ride as the yellow flag does come back out. So another restart, another battle, and I do believe that is caution flag number 15 now on the afternoon. Is Rodney? What's good, Rodney? Rod Stewart in the chat here this evening. Rod Stewart in the chat showing the love here. Says, made it. Says, good evening, race fans. Good evening, Rodney. How are you? Is that the first time I've noticed that your name is actually Rod Stewart? Is that the first mother fluffing time I've noticed that, Rodney? Okay, that's Rod Stewart in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. And it says, hello, Rodney. Says, glad you made it. We're all glad that Rodney made it, man. Uncle Rodney in the chat here showing the love in this one, man. We can't wait to see these guys get back to battle, duking it down. Hopefully we can get some good green flag laps in here. Hopefully we can see these guys duke it out here in this one to really just have a good finish to this race, man. It'd be great to see. It'd be great to have as Alrighty, it'd be great to see some good green flag laps being laid down again here. I'm not sure what our longest run has been. Our longest run has probably not been more than 30 laps, 20 laps of green flag racing. Something like that. I want to say it's probably closer to 20 laps. It's probably the longest run we had there towards the end of stage number, towards the end of stage number freaking 1 in the middle portion right there. That's probably the longest green flag run we had. It'd be nice to at least double that before the next caution is. Here we go. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing is Jordan Fisher. Still out in front here. He was able to take that race lead away from Applegate. Applegate in position number 2 is going to look to try to get it back, as you do see Xavier Ronco-Bronchi back there in 3rd. And I do believe we saw Matthew Wood, Aiden Lucas, a bunch of other drivers made their way back down pit side. So for Aiden Lucas and Matthew Wood, they give up the track position. They come down pit road. They get fuel. They get tires. They get whatever else they desire. And now they're going to have to try to rebound. And there goes the 34. Oh, brother. Caution flag back out into the air. Caution flag back out. Caution flag back out. As this time, it's Aiden Lucas. Had just made that pit stop. Had just made this strategy call. And it looks like down to 4. Just steps on it. Car gets out underneath of him here. Goes around. You see Matthew Wood ends up getting some good rear end damage as the 81 of Browder gets into the back end of him. But for the GOAT Racing diecast, breast cancer awareness AG's designs ride, 34 Ryan goes around, pointing the wrong direction. Caution flag will fly. As Bill Fisher says, come on, boys, clean it up here. Dr. Relief, how are you, Dylan? Dylan says, well, that was eventful. I had more fun checking out the walls under yellow than when I was, than when the race was green. Yeah, there's definitely a tough one right there. Definitely a tough one here in this one. As Sim Racing Rims says, what are we doing? What are we doing, chat? We're having a good time. We're having fun here tonight, man. Hopefully everyone had themselves a wonderful weekend. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. Hopefully everyone is, enjoying a bit of a chaotic race, a bit of a wild race here this evening. It's not every day you get to see a race displayed like this. Not every day you get to see them duke it out like this one. As Evan Stewart says, we are almost back, he says. Evan, brother, yeah, Evan's got to be getting there. Evan was 8 laps down after losing connection of this race. If he can somehow get back on the lead lap, that would be absolutely insane. He is currently right now 2 laps down. How in the... So he's gained 6 laps. We saw Dustin Hardy come back from 3 laps down here in this one. So Dustin came back from 3 laps down. We've seen a few other drivers get lucky dogs as well. If Evan Stewart can gain 8 laps back after losing connection in this race, that would be absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. As Roddy says, maybe they are driving too fast. Yeah, maybe they're driving too fast. Maybe it's getting too crazy out there. Maybe they're just doing mock chicken, man. We need to put more restrictor plates into NASCAR, especially when we come to Richmond. More restrictor plates, okay? Let's tone these things down 50% slower. I want to see 40-second laps out there. No, I'm just kidding. That would be absolutely wild. That would be absolutely wild. I think a lot of it is just the track, the car. They do not like each other, man. They get very, very loose. They get light on their toes on corner exit. That's where we see a lot of these drivers, spinning around and running into issues here as the average rail fan says, what happened to my GOAT? Who's your GOAT? Average rail fan, who's the GOAT? Who's your GOAT? Who's your GOAT? We'll let you know. Who's your GOAT? Is it Matthew Wood? Is it the 37 ride of Evan Stewart? Who is your GOAT? That's what we want to know, the average rail fan. Who is your GOAT? We'll let you know. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, Evan says Richmond set is very loose. First 2 laps. Ooh, yeah, that's tough. That's tough. And these cars are already really loose here at this racetrack. So you get a loose setup in an already a loose car. Oh my, goats in P2. Okay, yep, Xavier, Mr. Rongo Broggy Zay. He is in second. He's led some laps. He's looked very strong here this evening. Now he's got some track position. But how much track position does he give up, as these drivers are going to need to try to battle here in this race? And again, another door-to-door restart. You do see Dustin Hardy. He was back up inside the top 5, but we do see that number 17. Oh, man, the 17 car. Oh, yeah, I thought we were going to see the caution flag between Dustin and Bogart. Bogart was the one who got into Dustin Hardy there to unfortunately put Dustin 3 laps down early in this race. Says, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the caution flag is back out as Jeff Hurrick going to run into some more issues here. So Hurrick already with some pretty solid front end damage here in this one. We're going to watch Hurrick send it into corner number 1 right here. Nice and easy through 1, and then down and out of core number 2. There it goes. Loose car, loose setup. Tough racetrack, and unfortunately for the 49 ride, goes around again, stopped on the racing surface, pointed the wrong direction, and that will bring the caution flag back out. So another yellow flag and another opportunity to try to go back to green flag racing, to try to go back to battle here in this one. As Sam says, Hardy back in the top 5. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Unfortunately, now back in the 6th position, though. You spoke a little too soon. I'm just kidding. He's up there, man. I mean, great recovery, great rebound there for him. And we do see, looks like potentially Caleb Holloman went a lap down there during that caution flag. That's a tough break right there for Evan Stewart, as that will not give Stewart the lucky dog right there. And unfortunately for Evan, we'll have to see 2 more caution flags at the minimum to try to get himself back on the lead lap here this evening. Now for Jeff Hurrick, he is down pit road, hoping to try to get this car repaired. He may be down pit side for an extended period of time here this evening, as we have lost a couple drivers out there on the racetrack. I do believe Jaden Browder, Dylan Carrier, James Jones is still rolling out there, but Ethan Greek and Brandon Eddington are done here this evening. So at least 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, potentially 5 cars, if Jeff Hurrick does not roll back out there onto the racetrack, are done for the evening. That still leaves us with 22 drivers battling, duking it out there on the speedway. So we'll have to wait and see how this gets played out. Still a lot of racing left to go here. Still a lot of time. Still a lot of opportunities to try to battle your way back into the races. Mrs. Holler says PeaceMaker is the GOAT. Oh, Mrs. Holler, you're going to make me blush. You're going to make me blush, Mrs. Holler. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as we sit here, and as we are under currently, what is this now? Caution flag. Let me take a look here. Let me open up the other overlay. Caution flag number 17 on the season. We currently have 27 people watching, 28 people watching the broadcast right now. Can we hit at least 17 likes on the stream? Right now we only have 4 likes on the broadcast over on YouTube. If you guys can jump in, hit that like button on the broadcast. It's right below the stream. All you got to do is scroll down from the main screen here. If you're in full screen or on your TV, all you got to do is exit full screen. Just look down below the broadcast. You should see, subscribe to PeaceMaker Gaming. You should hit that if you haven't already. And then you should hit the like button, the thumbs up button on the broadcast. Help us reach at least 17 thumbs up here on the stream for 17 yellow flags so far in this feature event. As here we go, back to green flag racing, as Applegate going to slam onto the gas pedal, hoping to try to keep all these drivers back there at bay. Xavier Rugglebruggy trying to hold on to position number 2, as Jason Bogart, man, he is all of a sudden storming through the field here. Bogart's looking like he's found something in that Turning Point USA ride, and maybe all these yellow flags were a turning point here for Jason Bogart as he's trying to navigate his way to the front of the field. As Ronnie Stewart says, someone hit the reset button. The reset button? Who hit the reset button? Oh no, don't hit the reset button. You don't want to do that. Is Dr. Relief, Mr. Dylan Carrier in the chat says, I got bored, so I parked it out loud. I have incident review from last night. I have to redo. Oh, tough break. That's tough. That's tough, Dr. Relief. Hey, I understand it, man. We saw Ethan Greek already dip out as well, I'm sure, for Browder and potentially Brandon Hennington as well. Yellow flags definitely becoming too much for some drivers. Maybe just run a little longer than they wanted to, or just tough breaks out there on the racetrack getting collected in some of those yellows. Definitely causing some controversy out there on the racetrack, but we are seeing a bit of a good green flag run right here. We are starting to get some good laps in, as Julie Carly says, go Jason, cheering on Bogart here this evening, as Julie hoping to see Mr. Bogart work his way up, maybe into victory lane here. He does have that 19 right of Jordan Fisher, though. Now onto his back bumper. Here comes Matthew Wood, as Wood looking to try to get around Benjamin Romano, and now that we get some good green flag laps under our belt, maybe these cars getting a little bit more nice and easy for these guys to drive. Maybe they're getting a little bit more settled in. We're starting to see some good green flag laps, and I'm hungry because I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy, he says. I'm right there with you, Dylan. I'm right there with you. All I've had today was 2 coffees, an energy drink, and a donut earlier. That's all I've ate today. I'm hungry too, brother. I'm making up in pizza once this race is done, okay? I'm going into the kitchen, I'm making a pizza, and we're going to eat that, probably about 25, 30 minutes after the pizza's cooked. Probably somewhere around there, maybe even 35. All depends on how long it takes me to prepare it. But other than that, it's going to be a little while after the race that we're going to get some za into us, and I'm gonna feed my belly, full belly. But out in front, it's Applegate who leads the way here as 145 laps are completed. We got 55 laps of racing action left to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost there. We're at 9 likes on the broadcast. Hit that mother fluffing thumbs up right now. Turn up the volume and cheer on your favorite drivers in the comment section as we jump into our PeaceMaker Gaming. Crank it up here from Richmond Raceway. Uh-oh, here we go again. The caution flag back out on the racetrack. As the yellow flag comes out, that will close out our PeaceMaker Gaming. Crank it up here this evening as we take a look back and see what brings out the yellow flag. This time, looks like the 98 ride. Potentially going to get tied up here in this one as the average rail fan says, my goat's falling. He can get back up. Trust, he says he can get back up there. We got a sneaky suspicion he might be able to work his way back up towards the front. As Bill Fisher says, stay with it, Jordan. You will get the 57. Well, he got the 57. He has the race lead. Now he's going to try to hold all these guys back there at bay. Is the plush 55 ride of Mr. Xavier Rugglebruggy. Did fall back a spot or two there. We'll see if he can bounce back and work his way back into the action. But let's take a look here and see what happens to the 98 ride. The 98 ride is the DHL machine. Comes out of corner number 2. Looks like he gets loose right there. There you go. That's exactly what happens. We talked about this throughout the race and how just loose these cars can get, how they just snap hook around out there on the racetrack. Once they start to get a little bit loose, let's see if we can jump on board. So you watch the hands of this 98 ride. So he's rolling through the corner. You're going to see this car. You watch that yellow line. That is the middle point of the steering wheel. That is pointed dead straight. And you see him turning to the left, gets loose. He tries to correct it, tries to get it pointed back in the right direction. That little bit of counter steering snap hooks this car back up the racetrack, unfortunately, right into the nose of that 97 ride, and unfortunately, some pretty solid contact there for the 98 and the 97 as they get tied together. They obviously both get a piece of the outside fence and stopped and pointed in the wrong direction for Mr. Christoph Hall. That will bring us under the yellow flag. So the caution flag does get displayed after a good, solid green flag run right there. These guys were doing a fantastic job duking it out under the green flag conditions. But now we go back to another restart, another caution flag, and now we get to wonder, Now, what does the pit strategies kind of look like? And we did see everybody come down pit road. So Fisher holds on to the race lead here. So Jordan Fisher out in front, came down pit side. So did Grant Applegate. So Applegate also hit pit road. He's got some fresh tires in field. Same with Aiden Lucas. Nick Biddy now back there in fourth. And Matthew Wood rolls there in that fifth position. So Matthew ended up losing 3 spots down pit road. Now back into that fifth position is Caden Gargiulo, Joe David, Zach Clater, Wyatt Mickelson, and Jason Bogart round out our top 10. Mark Quinn Brewer back in 11th, Ryan Haller there in 12th with Keegan Huey, Jaden Porter, Dustin Hardy, our top 15. Christoph Hall there in the 16th position. Xavier Rongo-Brungy, not the pit stop he was hoping for, as he will now be back in about the 17th position. We'll have the 9 rider Benjamin Romano back there behind him. Caleb Holloman, who I believe is a lap down out there on the racetrack, still scored in the 19th position for Evan Stewart. Still 1 lap down here for Stewart. He needs to get past Holloman, catch another caution flag, and hopefully get that wave around on the lead lap here. James Jones back in 21st. Looks like Noah Blackwell done for the night. Same with Jeff Hurrick. Actually, Hurrick's still rolling out there back in that 23rd position. As here we go back to green flag racing, and Fisher gets another big jump, another great launch. But as soon as we go back to green flag racing, the caution flag comes right back out. He didn't even make it back to the start-finish line here for Dustin Hardy. And we see another yellow flag out there on the speedway. Green flag was just flying, and down through 3 and 4 for Dustin Hardy. Looks like he's trying to get onto the throttle right here, trying to get a big restart. And I think as he does, he ends up running into the back end of the 14 ride. Let's see if we get another look at this one. So watch the Hardy Design Chevrolet. He's going to get a big jump right here, and as he does, he ends up running into the back end of the 38 right at Keegan Huey, and it just knocks the rear end out on this car. Just spins him around, jacks the back end up, so he's got no traction, trying to get back onto the loud pedal there, and unfortunately, just turns that 86 right around, pointed the wrong direction. That brings us right back to the caution flag. Just as quickly as we were going back to green flag racing, things started to fall apart here once again in the wheel-to-wheel racing league, as I do believe we're getting there, chat. We're getting to the record number of cautions. I don't know what we're at right now, but it's getting there. It's getting there. What are we at? 19th caution of the day. Oh, baby. Oh, man, my race at iRacing Super Speedway earlier had 13 yellows as well. It was a bit of a rough one. It was a tough one. And unfortunately, a lot of yellows there. Now we get a lot of yellows here. We're done with the caution flag. We want to see these green flag laps. We want to see these drivers take this race into their own hands and duke it out here during a decent long run here. When we go back to green flag racing, as of right now, we're literally at 30 laps to go right now in this feature event. 30 laps left in this race. As long as we don't go to NASCAR overtime, there's only 30 laps left to duke it out here in this one. As Sam says, seems like more than 19, right? It does feel like it's more than 19, but that just tells you how much 30 really feels like. 30 feels like 60, and for 19, definitely feels like 30. That is for certain, man. It takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot out of you to, deal with this. And for these drivers, it's even tougher for these guys, man. For these drivers out there on the racetrack, it's not easy to go through this, man. You got to hit these restarts. You're starting to feel the pressure. You're starting to get a little bit stressed out. You're starting to lose a little bit of focus. It's been a lot longer race than I think a lot of these drivers were expecting. If this was clean and green, we'd almost be done this race, or probably already finished it at this point. We'd be doing our post-race interviews, maybe even finish the broadcast altogether. But with all these yellows, they chew up so much time. They take a 21-second lap and virtually turn it into about 52 seconds. So more than double the time here, and we have done a lot of caution laps here this evening. You got to think, what is it, 30, probably 3 laps, 3-4 laps under yellow, every single caution flag. We've had 19 of them, almost 20. So, I mean, that's clicking off a ton of laps under yellow, man, and that can be very, very stressful, can be very agonizing. It can make things that much tougher on these drivers, and that may lead to more caution flags. The lack of focus, the lack of drive, or the well-being is now you see the 57 right and the 19 both go up the racetrack. Oh, baby, big turn of events, and now we see the 14 ride sideways as well. Marquin Brewer, luckily enough, he's able to keep it rolling, keeps it somewhat pointed the right direction. No caution flag. We may have to go back and take a look at this restart because my, oh my, a big slide for the 57 as Applegate washed up the racetrack, got into the outside fence. Pretty heavy contact there for him, and he falls back now into about the 12th position as there goes Mickelson. Look out, Wyatt! Keep it going, keep it driving. He's got her. He's kept it going. Great piece of driving right there for Wyatt Mickelson. Going around, able to save it, keeps that car rolling. As we did see, the 34 of Aiden Lucas. Aiden got into the back end of that 19 ride of Mr. Fisher, and that got Fisher up the racetrack, allowed the 34 of Aiden Lucas and Nick Biddy to get around him. And now Fisher, late in this race, now with only 25 laps left to go, has to try to complete this pass here on Nick Biddy, has to try to hunt down that 34 ride of Aiden Lucas and see if he can try to take this race lead back away. And you can see the 19 ride. He is wheeling this thing. He is trying to give it everything he's got, trying to close that gap, trying to reel in that 34. And if you're Aiden Lucas, you're just trying to pull away as much as you can. Hope to see this green flag stay out and keep all these drivers back there at bay. As Jesse Biddy says, Cora Bells says, get a win for her birthday, Daddy. Yo, it's Cora's birthday. Cora, happy birthday. Cora, happy birthday. Congratulations on your birthday. Hopefully you have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. And now, knowing that, man, I think we're all cheering on this 32 ride of Nick Biddy to get Cora a birthday present here again this evening and get that 32 ride up and into victory lane and get the win for her birthday here this evening. Jesse, make sure you guys let Cora Bells know that we said here at PeaceMaker Gaming, happy birthday to her, man. I don't know how old she is, but happy birthday. And hopefully she had herself a wonderful, wonderful day. Hopefully it was absolutely perfect. And now she gets to enjoy watching her dad out there on the racetrack, slicing and dicing and battling here at the front of the field as he's trying to put himself up and into victory lane. Now, he did lose that second spot to Jordan Fisher. Fisher was able to get around him, puts himself up and into position number 2. But for Aiden Lucas, Aiden out in front, still just trying to run away with it here, and nice and easy down the back straightaway. He's got about half a lap here, half a second between himself and Jordan Fisher as he heads down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. Back down across the line. It is 20 laps left to go. So 20 laps left to duke it out here in this one. Does Jordan Fisher got enough left in the tank to race his way up here and potentially steal this win back away from that 34 of Aiden Lucas? Or can Aiden just keep himself at the point? He's got the track position. He's got the clean air. Can he hold off Jordan Fisher for the rest of this feature event? And we see potentially Nick Biddy or Matthew Wood make a late race charge and maybe steal it away from both of them. As Jesse Biddy says, it's her 9th birthday. Happy 9th birthday, Cora. Hopefully you had yourself a wonderful day. 9 years old, man. Lots of birthdays, man. Lots of birthdays. Ryan Haller, who currently runs in the 9th position. He turns 30 this Thursday coming up. Not tomorrow, but the next Monday, so a week virtually away. I turned 31. Lots of birthdays here in October, man. October babies are the best babies. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie about that one. The October babies are the best babies. As Aiden Lucas out in front, continuing to lead this race, and the laps continue to get clicked down. Unfortunately, no caution flags over the last handful of laps, and for that number 19 rider, Jordan Fisher, it just seems like he hasn't been able to reel in that 34 ride. He's kind of been stalled out right here behind that 34, and without a caution flag, it may get very, very tough on him to try to make this pass later in the race, especially because that 34 rider, Aiden Lucas, he's not an easy driver to get around. He is going to battle. He is going to duke it out, and if they do get side by side, it could slow them both down enough that we could see Matthew Wood, who has now worked his way into that 3rd position, jump up here and battle for this race win again and try to win another race here this evening as Aiden Lucas, nice and easy down the back straightaway. It is 15 laps left to go. Fisher there in 2nd. Wood back in 3rd. Nick Biddy falls into position number 4 with Caden Gargiulo rounding out our top 5. Xavier, he's trying to race his way back up towards the front here. He unfortunately had a tough pit stop and it's restarted deep in this field. Now for the 55 ride of Xavier Rungle-Brungy. He has worked his way back into that 6th position. He's looking to close the gap here on Caden Gargiulo, hoping to try to race his way back inside the top 5 and make it all 5s here for Xavier this evening. And Zach Clater right there with them back in 7th. Jason Bogart rolls there in 8th with Ryan Haller, and Benjamin Romano rounding out our top 10. Keegan Huey there in 11th. Dustin Hardy, great rebound for him, sits in 12th. Joe David, Christoph Hall, Wyatt Mickelson, our top 15, with Jaden Porter, Grant Applegate, Caleb Holloman back in position number 18. Marquin Brewer there in 19th. And for the number 37 of Evan Stewart, he rolls there in 20th. He is the only driver right now, I do believe, that is a lap down out there on the racetrack. So for this number 37 ride of Evan Stewart, if he could get a lucky break, if he could see another caution flag late in this race fly, as much as we don't want to see it, Evan wants to see it, because that would get him back onto the lead lap. It would get him back into the battle here this evening. But even though he was 8 laps down, being only 1 lap down is absolutely wild. As out in front, our race leader Aiden Lucas just continues to click off these laps. He's starting to roll into that 97 right of Caleb Holloman, and unfortunately for that number 37 of Evan Stewart, if Holloman does lose a lap here, that will move Evan Stewart out of the lucky dog position. Unfortunately for the 97, he's been struggling here in the second half of this race. He will fall a lap down as Aiden Lucas will get around him, and we do see a battle back here for second as oh man, Matthew Wood and Jordan Fisher, they're going at it here with 9 laps left to go. 9 laps left here in this one, and that is on like Donkey Kong as Matthew Wood makes his move around the 19 right of Jordan Fisher. Fisher not going to give up though. He's going to stick right here with it. He does not want to leave the back bumper of the 16 of Matthew Wood, but they're all hunting down Aiden Lucas, as Aiden right now has about a second gap between himself and Matthew Wood. Can Matthew, over the next 8 laps, close that gap? Can jump to the 34 ride, not only reel him in, but be able to make the move, to make the pass, and steal this win away from Aiden Lucas here this evening. We're about to find out as these guys putting together probably one of the best runs we've seen here late in this race. Absolutely awesome to see as Aiden Lucas continues to hold down the top spot here, but he did lose last time around about 0.2 of a second to Matthew Wood. So Matthew is now down to about 0.8 of a second, almost 0.7 here. We'll see how much he can gain down and out of corner number 4. Looks like he doesn't gain a whole lot that lap. Doesn't really gain a bunch. He kind of leveled out right there with Aiden Lucas. Seems like Matthew definitely a little bit better down through 1 and 2. And as Aiden starts to run into some lap traffic, this 14 ride could really hold him up, and that could be a big difference maker. The lap traffic could play a hand in this one. As here we go, down across the line. It is 5 more laps left to go. 5 more laps left to duke it out here in this one as Aiden Lucas trying to hold off our season champion. He locked it in here today with a stage win and a second place run in the stage for Matthew Wood. He is locked in as our champion here on the season. For Aiden Lucas, unfortunately, it has not been the playoffs that he had hoped for, and missed a lot of races, and now here he is kind of boxed in. He's got a couple lap cars right here in front of him. That's going to allow Matthew Wood to close the gap. The 34 can't wait any longer. He's got to make the move around the 14, and now putting that 14 right of Marquin Brewer a lap down. It will move Matthew Wood, though, to within half a second of the 34, but he is running out of time as it's only 3 more laps left to go. 3 more laps left to duke it out here in this one. And for Aiden Lucas to jump up here, make that move late in the race, and steal this win away. What a night it would be for the 34 ride. Not too long ago, we saw him go around right here out of corner number 4. Brought out a caution flag, had some issues, had to go to the back of the pack. Here he is, though, late in the race, able to take the race lead away and trying to run away with it. With only 2 laps left to go, down the back straightaway, Aiden Lucas will lead us by about 0.4 of a second into corner number 3. Nice and easy out of corner number 4. Aiden Lucas will see the white flag fly. So the next flag will end this race no matter what, as Aiden sends it deep down into corner number number 1, trying to get a big run in corner number 2, as Matthew Wood wiggles just a little bit right there, and that may be enough for Aiden Lucas, as for the final time, down and out of corner 4, it's Aiden Lucas who steals the win here at Richmond and puts himself into victory lane here this evening. Aiden Lucas picking up the dub and putting himself up and into victory lane here this evening, as Matthew Wood going to give him a big shot. Congratulations there to the back bumper of the 34, and it's Nick Biddy. Biddy comes home in third, man. Great run there for Nick Biddy. We'll hear him up here in the booth as well. Solid top 3 run there for Nick, but it's all Aiden Lucas as he gets to celebrate a big win here this evening at Richmond Raceway, as the AG's Designs GOAT Racing Diecast number 34 on the breast cancer awareness machine finds victory lane here at Richmond Raceway. Man, what a run, what a drive, and what a performance here for Aiden Lucas, man. And he's pumped up, he's excited, and for Matthew Wood, he's excited too. A great second place run, enough points in this race. He has locked in the championship. Came home second in this feature event. This is our 2025 wheel-to-wheel NASCAR Cup Series champion, Matthew Wood. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for both of these drivers. Give it up for Aiden Lucas, obviously winning this race here in Richmond, but give it up for Matthew Wood as 2 races to go left here in these playoffs. He locks in the championship here this evening, as Mr. Holler in the chat says, not the race I wanted. Unfortunately, not the birthday luck you were hoping for. You'll have to bank that birthday luck up next week, Holler, and get it next Sunday. You'll have to lock in and get that birthday luck next week, brother. That's what you're going to have to do. That's what you're going to have to do. He says, night, guys. Yeah, definitely night, man. What a run, what a race, what a drive. As we'll get ready to pull Aiden and the rest of our top 3 up here into the broadcast booth, as they're going to do some celebrating here. They're going to try to do a backwards lap out there on the racetrack. Okay, they're having a little bit of fun. The 9 ride's going to go with them here to celebrate as well. Give some kisses there to Aiden and Matthew. Isn't that cute? Look at that. Some kisses there for our race winner and our champion from the 9 rider, Benjamin Romano. Man, that is so cute out there on the racetrack. As let's see if we can get these guys up here into the booth, man. What a run, what a drive, what a performance here for them. And hopefully we can see them slide into the waiting room right now. Both drivers still celebrating, though. So let's see if we can bring Nick Biddy in here. Biddy comes home in that 3rd position. Let's see if we can pull him in here into the booth right now and get Nick Biddy's post-race interview up and out of the way. Hey, Nick, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Hey, Aaron, I got you loud and clear.
Nick, man, heck of a drive here late in this race. Obviously a very chaotic one. A lot of yellows, a lot of restarts, a lot of carnage out there, but you're able to survive throughout the night. You're able to keep yourself focused in this race and just kept on battling and chipping away at it here, and it looked like you were going to duke it out there for a little bit for the race win, as we saw Aiden push Fisher up the racetrack, allowed you and Aiden to jump into first and second. Then all of a sudden we see Fisher battle back, gets back around you. We see Matthew Wood get around you. Maybe we weren't going to get an opportunity to talk to you up here into the booth, and all of a sudden here you are making a late race move, getting around Jordan Fisher and putting yourself back up here onto the podium, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now.
Oh yeah, man, that was it was just pure patience. Honestly, if the race would have been on any longer, Fish would have been got around me. My stuff was kind of used up. I don't know. I was having a hard time, trying to juggle the tire wear and trying to be fast, and it was a little bit hard to do with all the cautions starting to stop in. And I felt like every time I'd have somebody pass real good, they would come back around me, or the timing loop would get me on the cautions. So, yeah, it was one of those nights you just need to be patient.
Yeah, absolutely. Have to be patient. Just have to bide your time. And here you are late in this race, navigating your way up there and duking it out with some heavy hitters here. I kind of talked about it throughout the final bit of this run, as we finally had a good long green flag run to kind of finish off this race. At least almost another 30-lap stint right there to finish this one off, which was great to see. I was not wanting to see that late race caution flag come out here in this one, but I talked about how, potentially yourself Jordan Fisher, Matthew Wood, obviously, who's the champion this year, but Aiden Lucas and Xavier Rongelbrugge, man. I think if all 5 of you guys are back in the series next season, if all 5 of you guys are, racing each and every single week, I think you guys are going to be some of the championship favorites here next year.
Yeah, yeah, I'm planning on it. I've Wheel to Wheel's been good to me. It's I feel like it's ran fairly, and the racing's really good. I mean, I've got to figure out how to keep up with Wood, but there's 30 other guys trying to do that too, right? So yeah, I'm excited about the future with these guys. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be on to bigger and more amazing racing next season. But we still got 2 races left to go here in this one. I know the points are obviously already in favor of Matthew Wood. They pretty much have been since about week 2 of the championship battle.
Right.
But for yourself, obviously you're still trying to jump up there, trying to earn some extra points, try to put yourself into a solid finishing position. What does a 3rd place run here tonight look for you here, points-wise, after tonight's race and only 2 races left to go?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is a good run for us. I don't I don't know what's happened. As soon as the playoffs started, I feel like I've just got hit by the bad luck bug. Whether I felt like I gave one up at Darlington and run out of gas at Chicagoland, and then had a few better other runs that kind of just got thrown away. Yeah, this is a good turnaround. Got a couple more weeks left, and maybe we can get back up. Maybe at least in the top 5 in points or so. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a bit of a rough finish there for Applegate, Haller, Perry. I don't think was even out there tonight. Clater, I think, had a decent run, but Evan Stewart had a bit of a rough night. So I think you did gain quite a few points here on some of those guys in front of you out there on the racetrack. So maybe getting that top 5 here in the point standings to finish off the season may be possible for you here, man. Is
Sure.
heck of a run, heck of a drive out there on the racetrack, and congrats on obviously staying with it, keeping yourself in the battle. We had your wife Jessie in the chat. She said that Cora Bells was cheering you on and wanted to see you get that win for her birthday there. So we shouted her out for her 9th birthday, and that was awesome to see. And I'm happy that we were able to get you up here in the booth, so that way you can maybe wish her a happy birthday here on the broadcast as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm glad those guys are watching, and it's exciting. Cora's 9 now, and she's growing up, and she's a heck of a softball player, and becoming more beautiful and beautiful every day. So yeah, I'm extremely proud of her. I'm extremely proud of all my children, and I appreciate those guys watching. It really means a lot to me. And it means it's a little bit of support, and I think it's something they enjoy watching too. So they like interacting with you and being part of it. So.
Absolutely. Well, it's always my pleasure having them be a part of the broadcast, a part of the fun here, and enjoying watching their dad come home in a very solid run and have another great performance out there on the racetrack. Nick, who would you like to thank for such a great drive out there on the racetrack here this evening?
Hey man, well, I think we've said it. Obviously my children and Cora. Happy birthday, Cora! I really hope you had a good one, and we can't forget the one, the only, my beautiful smoking hot wife, Jessie Biddy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for letting us do this. So.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Nick, heck of a run, heck of a drive, man. Hopefully next week is a little less chaotic, and hopefully another trip for you up here into the broadcast booth.
Sure. Hope we get to talk again soon.
Absolutely, mister. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Same to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, Nick Biddy. As Biddy comes home in position number 3 here this evening. Heck of a run, heck of a drive there for that 32 machine as we get ready to pull in our race winner. The number 1 car, the number 1 cat out there on the racetrack here this evening. The 34 of Aiden Lucas as Aiden picks up the dub. Let's get Aiden up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Aiden, it's Aaron up here at the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Aiden, man, what a run, what a race, man. Take us back through this one. Obviously, a lot of cautions. You got to have a lot of patience out there on the racetrack. We saw you trying to play some strategy early on in this second half of the race, and all of a sudden you end up going around here with about 60, 70 laps left to go in this feature event. So you're kind of struggling. You're in a bad spot right there, and you're deep in the field, but all of a sudden you just slowly but surely navigate your way back up here to the front. Obviously, we saw Applegate go high in corner 1 and 2 on that final restart. You give the bump and run there to Jordan Fisher to get him up and out of the way, and unfortunately he could not work his way back to you. Matthew Wood couldn't get to you either, as you're able to drive this 34 ride up and into victory lane here this evening at Richmond Raceway. Man, take us back through it, and what's going through your mind as you get to celebrate here with Matthew out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, pretty special. I think he clinched the championship after that result, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it was pretty cool winning in this pink car. Breast cancer, it means a lot to my family. Um, but yeah, man, it was wild. I wasn't expecting that last 28 to run green. Got lucky there. I don't think I went and hit Fisher too. I think I went back at that. I think I don't know. I don't know if he just wasn't expecting how loose 2 was going to be. But it was definitely a challenge out there trying to keep Matthew behind, Fisher behind. Yeah, definitely laid down the most perfect 28 laps that I could have done right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks mistake free, even having to try to navigate through some of that lap traffic there late in the race as well. And then obviously feeling that pressure when you see Jordan Fisher get back around Nick Biddy. He's fast, he's leading a lot of laps here. I'm sure that was probably a sight you didn't want to see. Then you see Matthew get up there as well. And you know how quick and how good he is when it comes to any one of these racetracks. And you're just leading the race. As you said, man, 28 laps of clean green racing. You're able to just lay down perfect laps out there, not make any big or egregious mistakes that allowed them to catch back up to you and give them a shot to steal this win away from you here tonight.
Yeah, man, it was a hard fought battle. Fisher was fast all night. Matthew's always fast everywhere you go. Um, Dude's an alien. Um, yeah, it was stressful, very stressful to say the least. I saw the cars coming. I was like, oh my god, please do not make me pass them. I had to pass them. Didn't end up being that big of a deal. They were too wide in front of me at one point. I was like, can we sort this out a little bit, please? Um, yeah, man, no, it was a great night of racing. Wish we could have ran green a little bit more. Felt like I had a decent car, kind of on the long run. But 2 tires right there at the end, I think won me that race.
Yeah, absolutely. That may have been the strategy call to put yourself up and into victory lane. And then obviously, making that call, having these laps left, do you think if you caught a late race caution flag that you could have held these guys back there at bay, or do you think you would have been maybe swallowed up by the Hornets' nest back there behind you?
God, it's so tough to tell because the front half of this league, there's a bunch of talent. Um, Obviously, some very quick guys, and yeah, Matthew's one of those people. You put his back against the wall, and he'll fight his way out of it, and he's proven that time after time again. But yeah, you never know until you would have had to rack him.
Absolutely, brother, and it plays out perfectly into your hand as you're able to park yourself up here into the Richmond Raceway victory lane here this evening. Aiden, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Well, first off, as we do, it's been a while, so appreciate you bringing the show to the people. Everyone at this admin team, Matthew, Jordan, Evan, Jaden, all these guys. Um, yeah, thank you, Goat Racing, putting your logos on my car. Or you need some diecast, goatracing.com, goatracingdiecast.com, excuse me. But yeah, hopefully can get 2 more.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 more races left on the season, and we can't wait to see what you got in store. How do you feel, though? Obviously, just thinking about it here, you missed a ton of races here at the start of these playoffs, and being one of our playoff competitors, obviously didn't work out in your favor. You're sitting back at 11th in points. Do you think maybe you would have had a little something? Do you think maybe you would have made it a little tougher on Matthew to win this championship this year if you could have been here for all these races?
It's just so tough. Matthew's just lights out, and he's so rare to make big mistakes. Um, maybe you rack him up again and something changes, but yeah, what a season by him. Let's just put that
Yeah,
out there.
yeah,
Jesus.
I don't even know how many wins he's got now on the season. It's got to be like 14, 15 wins,
I
something.
think it's 14. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's trying to match his car number, so hopefully I can prevent that from happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I think now that you've said that, I think every driver is going to try to make sure that doesn't happen because they do not want to see that. Not only win the championship, but 16 wins is absolutely wild. Okay, that is absolutely insane. That's better than Connor Zilic, and he's been lighting it up all season there in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, he's got a Corey Heim kind of win rate. I think it's a little bit better than Corey's. Yeah, he's impressive.
Yeah, both guys impressive, very impressive, and you know, if there's any NASCAR guys that are out there watching, you want to throw a sim racer into it, I think Matthew Wood may be one of those guys to maybe get him behind the wheel of a car and see what he can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe. We'll try and get him some seat time.
There we go. There we go. All right, Aiden. Well, heck of a run, heck of a drive, man. Congrats on the race win here this evening, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack for our penultimate race next Sunday.
Yeah, buddy. Appreciate you. See you next week.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Aiden Lucas. As Aiden picks up the win here this evening and parks that 34 up and into victory lane, as now we get an opportunity to pull in our champion and our second place driver here on the evening, the 16 rider, Matthew Wood. Let's pull Matthew up here into the booth. Hey, Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Take it a copy.
Yes, sir.
Brother, we got another opportunity to talk to you here after a solid second half of this race here. Obviously, things got even more crazy out there. Obviously, a lot of caution flags, a lot of chaos. You're able to keep yourself, for the most part, out of it and trying to keep yourself out of that contact and issues. We saw Aiden go around right in front of you. We saw some other drivers, when you were trying to play some of that pitch strategy, run into issues. But for the most part, you keep yourself out of it. You battle here late. You charge around Nick Biddy. You get around Jordan Fisher. You're trying to close into Aiden Lucas, but it just seemed like Aiden had so much here late in this race, and he was able to keep you back there at Bain, where he had to just settle in for a second place run here this evening. But in doing so, you lock in that championship, man. So you get to celebrate here with that 34 in our 8th race of the 10 race playoffs.
Yeah, even if I would have had the pace to do it, and if I would have taken two, I believe I would have come out to P1, but I probably would have let Aiden have it. I think 2 tires at the end were definitely the better call, which I thought, with it being a short track, 4 tires are going to be better because the rears are going to burn up, right? No, that's never the case with the next gen. No matter where you're at, 2 tires are for some reason going to be better than 4, even though we saw Heidegg today at the Charlotte Roval. But, I mean, I got to say this. There's going to be a lot of penalties tonight. And next season, we're going to probably have to implement some type of disqualification rule because tonight was ridiculous. As a matter of fact, not only in on the racetrack, but in the voice chat as well. So we don't run like that. I mean, we've had great runs. Stage 1 was beautiful. There at the very end of stage 3, that was beautiful. And I had the fastest car by a mile because I would run down Fisher because he was really quick on the short run. I had nothing for him, and then on the long run, I'd catch him back. And me and Noah were both really quick on the long run, but just couldn't get anywhere. And Aiden, he was up there too. I think me and him and Fisher would have had a great battle. But either way, moving on to the rest of the season, it's just been an incredible season. Again, I've been league racing since 2020. And all of my league races have been, at least on the NASCAR side of things, with the playoff system. And I've been in, because I used to race Heat 5 at it was probably the level below pro, I would say. Then I went to iRacing. But overall, I've probably ran 20 or more seasons in leagues altogether. I've won every single regular season championship except for 2. And I have never won a championship in a NASCAR league. So this is the first championship that I will have, and it's because of the playoff system. So I think it's a great addition. I hope NASCAR can go to it next year, but who knows? We'll see. It's NASCAR.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that every NASCAR fan, after watching tonight, and seeing Joey Logano make it through. If that
Yeah.
pair wins another championship, another
I'm gonna
Mickey Mouse
tweet.
championship, then NASCAR 100% should receive about 10 million emails saying, change this. Go back. Either go back to the Winston Cup way that they did it, where it's just points all season long and the best driver wins, or do the chase. I didn't mind the chase. The chase was good. Top 12, best 10 races out of those top 12 drivers, wins the championship. I didn't mind that. That was pretty fair, pretty clean, and that's what we're doing here is the chase format, and we get to see how, a dominant car that can go out there and perform during those 10 final races wins the championship. We saw it with, for 10 years or so, we saw Johnson win 4 or 5 championships that way. We saw Stewart and so many other good champions have to battle this way, and now it's kind of just like the Mickey Mouse way to get in. You win and you're in. You could win the fourth race of, the first race of this next round, and you're into the championship 4, and the other 3 rack out, and you just get to win the championship. Stupid.
Exactly, and I think going back to the chase format, like you said, it not only gives the most dominant driver credibility, but it also, NASCAR says it's for the entertainment, and that, well, I don't think they say that, but it's for the entertainment, right? But compared to a full season format, the chase format does give something to look forward to at the end. But even then, if we were running Winston Cup format, it would have been by the championship the last like 2-3 years, I believe, would have been decided by under 5 points. So that's just where we're at. But anywho, I got to thank AG Motorsports and the entire admin team. We're going to work on this as much as we can. A lot of changes will be coming tonight, I'm sure. But we just ran so much. Thank you to everybody absolutely everybody that's always supported me. I never, growing up, it was I don't have many right now, but hopefully I can, it's been a dream to have at least some people that I've never met in my life say, go me. So, and that's just the thing, Landon and his family, they're incredible people, and everybody else is as well. Me and Evan, by the way, we just won the Evan drove an incredible race at Petit Le Mans. We have successfully won in GT3, LMP2, and GTP in special events. So we came back from 7 laps down with 4 hours to go to win the race. So great job to him. Thank you to the Lord for giving me an opportunity to race here. He's awesome to me. If you need help with him, just let me know. I can guide you in the right path. Not perfect, but thank you for being here this whole season. I know we still got 2 races left, but hopefully I can make it fun.
Absolutely, man. Well, I know Aiden already brought it up. He says, I think he's trying to win as many races as he has as his number on his race car at 16 wins. If you can pick off the next 2, and I don't know, man. I think after he said that, I think that may have, perked up the ears of all these other drivers. They may try to make sure you don't find victory lane and win 16 races on the season, which would be absolutely insane. Even just winning 14 on a season is unreal, but to potentially try to go out there and win 16 would be absolutely wild here, and definitely a testament to your championship.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty good at Vegas, and I'm really good at Phoenix. So hopefully, now that I didn't know that now, so that'd be a pretty cool stat to have. But I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try it.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing how it plays out. Matthew, congrats on the 2nd place run here tonight. Congrats on locking in our inaugural championship here at the Wheel to Wheel Racing League, and we can't wait to see how it plays out for you in these final 2 races, and we'll catch you back here potentially up in the booth in our penultimate race next week.
Thank you. God bless you all.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night, brother.
You too, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 2nd place driver here this evening and our champion here in the Wheel to Wheel Racing League, Matthew Wood. As Wood picks up the championship, gets to celebrate here this evening, not a win, but a championship. It's even bigger than a win, man. Being that driver that can beat everybody else throughout the season and win the championship, and now his first championship, that's absolutely a wild stat for how talented, how good he is to not have any league championships, man. And his many seasons, his 5 years here on the simulator, that is wild to see him not have a championship as of yet. But here, this season, he gets it done. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Matthew Wood. Give it up here for all these drivers. We know it was a tough one. It was a long one. There's a lot of caution flags. I'm sure there's a lot of upset drivers. I'm sure there's a lot of drama going on behind the scenes here. So shout out there to all the admin crew, the owners, everyone that puts the series on and keeps up and deals with all the BS and everything else behind the scenes. We can't thank them enough, and we can't thank you guys enough for being here, tuning in, enjoying, watching, and having some fun here throughout these broadcasts and enjoying, for some of this, some great racing action. For some of it, some crazy caution flags and a lot of yellows out there. But nonetheless, man, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, showing the love, dropping the likes, the comments, the shares, man, on the broadcast. We appreciate each and every single one of you. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor right now. Hit that thumbs up button on the stream. Make sure you go check out some of our other content, some of our other broadcasts. Make sure you guys definitely hit that subscribe button. Become part of the PeaceMaker family here today if you're watching over on YouTube and you haven't already, and make sure you definitely follow us over on Facebook and Twitch as well. As unfortunately, that will do it for us here this evening. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and just having some fun here on this Sunday afternoon, this Sunday night of great racing, great fun, great laughs here this evening, and we can't wait to see you guys back in here in the booth. We're actually off tomorrow. We may get something going. We may do something just kind of throughout the middle of the day, towards the end of the day, just a nice little fun stream of, I don't know what, maybe Call of Duty or something potentially in there. Same with Tuesday, but we will be back up in the booth on Wednesday. We'll be back in here and put on some more great racing action for everyone to enjoy, and we hope to see you guys there in the grandstands. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love, and we'll see y'all later. Woo! What a run, what a race, what a show.
Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, PeaceMaker, keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. PeaceMaker's mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. 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 Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, Peacemaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. Peacemaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. Peacemaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. Peacemakers mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy.